physical. It's time to talk some piss and more. We gonna talk about it all. A, B, C, D, U, H, D, VHS clips. Hooray! Who knows, maybe you'll even see the laser disc today. Let's get physical. We wanna talk some physical media. Movies and TV, music and more. Come check out what we have in store. This is the media house stream. It's time for some physical media on FanZcene.
I know it was like really popular because it like won some Oscars and whatever, but
Jimmy does dance. It's got the Mighty Ducks guy. Got that guy.
No! Yes, but no! He's not the Mighty Ducks guy! It's Emilio Estevez! We're the brand. You can never have enough physical media.
Truer words have never been spoken ever before in the existence of time. Well, hello, fellow fellers. Welcome back to the Physical Media Show here on FanZcene. And with me tonight, we have Tom and Rook. How y'all doing?
I'm alive.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
No, that sounds bad. I'm sorry. That was bad. Oh, yes. Hello.
I think that's become a new gimmick is I'm late now every time. Yeah. And it's not like, I mean, I wrote the fucking song. I know exactly how long it is. I can sing it in my head.
I know.
But I'm still late every fucking time.
Better late than never. So, yes. But I hope you guys are in for some physical media tonight and everything. Make sure you guys, share it out.
We're going to get physical.
Get physical. All over Rookie's face.
He is going to be drenched bukkake style. That's right.
These are words.
Forget about it.
We here at FanZcene do not represent the views. Let's go ahead and say hi to the chat real quick, and then we'll get into everything. Hell to you, Brian Barth. Glad to see you out in the chat as well. What is up, John the Beagle Dad? Hello to you. Ace Hanlon, let's go. Good to see you out there. We have Night Junkie 9874. Let's go as too. Yes, let's go. Corley and Rogue. Hello to you, Corley and Rogue. Glad to see you as out there in the chat. Evening. Tyrell72, live long and prosper too. And then we also have Dragonzilla88, Hell, Runner's favorite movie. Yes, we will be getting into that. We have a little announcement on that front that we will get into.
We do?
Then, yes, we do. We'll talk about it. Yes.
I love that celebration music because it makes it sound like it's not even that big of a deal.
It's so exciting. How do you, Tim Hayes? Glad to see you out there as well, too, hanging with us tonight. What's up, Rob's Vintage Video? Glad to see you, too, buddy. Glad to see you out there. VHS for life. Yeah, there you go. Howdy, Double Fett. Good to see you out there as well, too, Double Fett. Glad to see you out there in the chat.
Good to see you.
We're
literally like, oh, hey, Brian, sorry. Yes. Does Runner know? Well, we'll find out here in just a moment.
We'll find out.
Because we are literally like that meme from The Office. It's happening!
It's happening! Oh my God, it's happening!
Oh my God, it's happening!
Everybody stay calm! So glad to see you as well. Oh, what's up, Rick Johnson? Glad to see you.
Hey, Rick. I was just talking to him.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys, and make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, all the good things, and we'll get into some physical media announcements. Do you want to go and do it, or should we take the other ones first?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been a long ride. We've been doing this for some time now, and finally, God damn it, Rookie!
Hey, keep going.
I can't keep going. You put a cat on screen.
I'm not saying nothing.
Pussy on screen. Quit rubbing your pussy for 2 seconds.
Damn it, man.
Hey, she chose to laugh, not me, okay?
Well, there was a big announcement.
Keep going. I'm listening.
I can't. No, he doesn't
I'm
understand.
enthralled.
Motherfucker does not understand internet, does he?
No, he doesn't.
Nobody can hear a fucking word I'm saying right now. All they hear is wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
wah, 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 wah. Why? Because there's a fucking cat on screen. Because
Yep.
everybody right now is simultaneously going, oh, kitty.
Yes.
Exactly.
If we're trying to make a big announcement that we've been on the show for 5 years and we've been joking
fuck.
about it for 5 years.
Are you really retarded?
I guess I'll put the kitty away for the announcement. She's liking the screen time.
Rookie, I expect no less. Really, at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm for. That's what I'm for. I thought you guys were gonna say it's because my foot was on screen. Because my foot was on screen too. Like, oh god, not the foot.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you ready?
That's right.
Are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
That's when the chorus come in.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats. It's finally coming to Blu-ray and remastered in 4K from the original camera negative. Ladies and gentlemen, Debbie Does Dallas. And Vinegar Syndrome, of course, is the place, well, technically through their adult label. I was getting it ready for you, but you got it up here already.
I figured by you announcing it, I'd get it up.
That's right.
I'd get it up.
The original, the classic, the only Debbie Does Dallas, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Now it makes you wonder, is it going to get a 4K release down the road here?
It does make you wonder.
Because I got the Westworld parody in 4K from them.
Yes. Tom's prayers has been answered.
Not quite. Where's Deep Throat?
Yes, exactly. This has been, for anybody who's ever watched, I know we're still sort of early and not everybody's in here because they do come later on, but like we have joked about this movie since the start of the show. Before Rook joined the show, it was a joke against Runner because Runner always took forever to announce his titles. We would always say, it's Debbie Does Dallas. And I don't know why, we just did. And it became
because it's funny.
Yes, it's funny. And it became a thing. And it got to the point where it's like, yeah, where the fuck is Debbie Does Dallas? Where is it?
And then I go, who's Debbie? And what's she doing in Dallas?
Exactly. So
she's doing everything in Dallas, my friend.
The whole Cowboys and all. So yes, and this is Vinegar Syndrome. It's just whatever, it's Melusia sign or whatever, because they had to separate their erotic titles from.
Did somebody complain?
No, that's like because we talked about it before, because like how they were getting like Drop Dead Fred and Navy SEALs and stuff like that. They could decided to separate them because they were getting more prestige, I guess you could say.
Makes sense.
So they decided.
And it's about time we get porn like to where its own. Like this older porn needs a, and also Beyond the Green Door was also announced with this too, by the way.
Yes.
So yeah, we need this stuff, and Vinegar Syndrome has probably been on the forefront of bringing a lot of the good adult entertainment from the past back, because a lot of it's been lost and or forgotten. So yeah, I mean, and some of these like are major classics. I mean, I half joke about Deep Throat, like people don't understand that movie made as much money as actual movies made. Right, like it is the highest grossing porn film of all time.
Yeah, it was.
They were literally showing it in regular theaters in some places. It was so popular, like it was a big thing.
It was. It was like the 70s was a weird time. Like they would put that shit in theaters, man. Like, oh, you guys want to see some porn? Throw it up there against EP.
You got like 5 different movies or so, at least or more, that kind of have that prestige that they are considered, and Debbie Does Dallas is on the lower end of that. Let's be real. Right. It's only there because it's so prestigious. It does actually have a thin plot to it. But it's kind of all the point of a lot of these classic films is they actually have plots, right? Like The Devil Miss Jones, and even Deep Throat has a plot, believe it or not. And
Yeah.
you got the Taboo films and some of the other stuff from back in the day that actually do have plots, and they do actually look and feel like actual fucking films.
Yeah, up until
that
the point
to me
where
is what's been lost. But yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Sorry.
I said yes. It's like you don't realize it until the point where they get naked, and then you realize, oh, this is a porn.
Yeah.
Because it's like acting. It's like B-movie level acting. Sometimes even better than that. And you're watching it, and you're like, oh, this is a nice fan. Whoa, what's going on here? So yeah. But it's finally, and Brian Barth, I explained that already. It's still Vinegar Syndrome. It's just they just split their erotic titles from the main Vinegar Syndrome label because they were getting a little more prestige. Like I said, that's what happened. So yeah,
it does seem odd though that they would completely separate. You know what I mean? Like to where you cannot, and he's right, you cannot go and find it on the Vinegar Syndrome website.
Can't. That's some they did get some backlash for that because that's how they started. They started off, their Vinegar Syndrome, the underbelly of cinema. So that's what they with sexploitation films, erotic films, bad movies that like people never would have given a chance. And once they started getting bigger titles, they did get some pushback from people saying they shouldn't have separated it from them because that goes against what they started as. So I know they did get some of that. So it just all depends, I guess. But yes, there was the big announcement. Rookie ruined it. We could have did it a lot better.
I enhanced it.
Yeah. But anyways,
I wonder if there's some regulatory thing that they had to do it for too, and that's what I was kind of wondering because, the stuff they show on there is like, could it be considered adult stuff to where it's like they had to separate it? That was what I was wondering.
Maybe,
or maybe even a financial thing. But at that point, it's like doesn't matter because their system probably runs the same. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if
you think there's any do-bag lizards added?
What?
30 do-bag lizards added into the cut?
No, George Lucas did not come anywhere near this version.
No.
Okay. There wasn't any in the background that was meant to be there in this one?
No.
Okay.
No. But no.
I always originally want Ron Jeremy in the film, but...
we had to elongate certain things. But no, if you go to that website, it's set up exactly like the Vinegar Syndrome website. Same way, same everything. So, yeah. Yes, it's literally that, not this exploitation. I was just saying that's what Vinegar Syndrome was founded on in the beginning.
And that's what's making me wonder if something came about that they had to actually separate the hardcore porn from just the exploitation shit.
I think they kind of had to. Something came about. I just remember some people got mad about it and stuff.
And I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I'm just going like, because even like me, I remember when I would open my video store, my landlord was kind of a dick because at the last minute he's like, oh yeah, and by the way, I don't want you renting porn here. I'm like, you motherfucker, you just took like, why don't you just cut my balls off while you're at it, motherfucker?
Took half of my business already.
Shit, you have no idea.
Because
I've worked in stores that actually have porn, and my God, from like 9 until 2 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you realize that most of your customers are the fucking porn people? When everybody else is at work, they come in, they go in back, and they all come out with a handful or a stack of fucking tranny porn and whatever else. Like, oh shit, I probably got you in trouble. God damn it.
Happens. It happens. Because everything is content nowadays. It doesn't matter. It's quick fix content, everything. They're not going to put money into it to make it like a movie anymore. Plain and simple. Now that we've got to that, let's talk about other movies.
Other movies, yeah. We got Rambo has got a re-announcement, as we had talked about with Robert Meyer Burnett.
Mm-hmm. All 4 of them coming back with better scans through Lionsgate.
And the uncut versions of the last 2.
Uncut versions. I know there was a couple more Elsa titles revealed for Kino 4K. The Elsa SS. I shouldn't say that either. Damn you, boutique labels.
The Yahtzee stuff.
Yeah, the boutique labels, man. They're setting out this stuff like that. But yes, there were some more of those announced. think that's about it, really. Did we go? I know Davina mentioned the Criterions, but I think we covered.
You missed a big one.
Which one did I miss?
Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, Stone Cold on 4K.
Brian Bosworth in 4K.
Yes, and Lance Hendrickson too. So
that's right.
Yeah.
And did we get the Arrow titles last week? Because they came out on Friday. So we had Soldier and Inner Space and
Soldier, Inner Space, A Chow Yun Fat,
The
movie.
Eye,
yeah,
Ginza, Butterfly, Day of the Locust, and what is the other one here? Something Killer.
Not sure.
Oh, just The Killer.
Oh, let's go to The Killer. Okay.
So we were right about Inner Space.
Yes, we were right about it. I'm looking forward to Inner Space. I do like Soldier as well, because I'm planning on picking up both of those, Soldier and Inner Space. Kurt Russell's really good in Soldier. It's that's one of those ones that's a little undersung, I think. So it'd be nice to have those. Yeah, not to be confused with Stone Cold Steve Austin from the WWF.
No.
I don't care. I don't screw the World Wildlife Foundation. It's WWF, World Wrestling Federation. Yeah, so that's what it is. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb was one of them. Did I miss that? So yeah, I like Soldier. I think Soldier's a good movie. That, and I don't know if you saw this. This says take your guesses on this one here, but this is coming from Arrow. Keep your membership card.
Yeah, I noticed I don't think they're Charlie films this time.
Yeah, that's a little loud. That was louder than I anticipated.
It was loud for you, not for us, maybe.
Oh, okay. Is there any guesses on this? Does like the artwork hide any?
Well, there's Puma Man. I think that's what that is.
I see the motorcycle. And
the motorcycle I've seen before too. It might be like. That's what I'm saying. I think they're all non-Empire films. Like if you can make it bigger, that might help. But
let me see if I can find an image of it.
I don't think they're Charlie Band films this time out.
No, I don't think they are too. But the motorcycle, I think, might be the it stars what's her name from Fall Guy, the Heather whatever her name is from Fall Guy, Heather something. I know somebody out in the chat will know her name. Steven, you know her name. And I believe the movie's called Motorcycle. So that's like okay, here we go. Can you see it?
Can't see all of it, but obviously something like the guy they're kicking something is from something. The guy sitting on top of the thing is from something. There's the anarchy symbol, the VIP symbol, spray painted.
Yeah. Yes, it's Heather Thomas. That's a Fred Olin Ray movie. I believe it's called Motorcycle.
And then that car's got something to do with it too. There.
Yeah, I can see the car there.
It's almost like they blurred on purpose something out on the car.
Mm-hmm. And the smiley face, I don't know if that means something or not. That just keeps drawing my eye to it. Wonder what they could be.
My guess is it's very similar B-level stuff like the Empire films.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about the movies, looking at the pictures, what they could, maybe is the Anarchy part of the Streets of Vengeance? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But there you guys. I think that's about it, really, for the upcoming titles outside of the Kino Lorber ones we mentioned. I didn't think I saw any more. Did you see any more?
Not that I can recall. I went all the way back to Friday, so unless I missed something.
Yeah, I didn't. The Postman would be great. I wouldn't mind the Postman from Arrow.
That was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
I know it's.
Did we get Remo Williams? I think we forgot Remo Williams.
Oh yeah, Remo Williams coming in 4K from Kino. Yes, you're right. You're right. I think that was it, right?
I think that's it now.
I think that's it. Yeah.
We got the Phantom. We got that last week. Right?
Yeah, we got the Phantom last week. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I know Davina mentioned the Criterion, but I think we got the Criterion last week because it was the Boys in the Hood trilogy, or not the trilogy. What was that? The three? Did we talk about
the John Singleton movies?
Yeah, the John Singleton movies, and
which Boys in the Hood has gotten a standard release in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So this won't be the first time that's gotten a 4K release, as far as I know. But
Yeah.
probably new special features. Did Criterion do Boys in the Hood back in the day? Possibly.
Maybe. I don't really know.
I wouldn't be surprised. So they probably have exclusive features that they have. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I do not know who's putting out the Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Who
The
put
Mummy
that up?
is evidently.
Corley and Rogue said that, so I don't know who's putting Corley and Rogue. I have not seen that. Corley and Rogue said it. So 310 to Yuma and Network from Criterion.
Oh, Network. Yeah, we got. I think we announced those last week, though.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I said. I think we got to them last week.
And which 310 to Yuma? Because the other one already has a 4K, I think. The remake.
I assume it's probably the original because
I was gonna say the remake has a 4K already. So
yeah. I would say the original because I don't think Criterion would do the remake.
But Lionsgate Limited. Oh, it's a Criterion one. Yeah, I was gonna say because Lionsgate Limited is re-releasing the. I think they did. If they haven't already, they're gonna be re-releasing 310 to Yuma.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My cat's like, "Get up, dude. Get up. Do
Come
something."
on, motherfucker, feed me.
I'm like, "No, I'm streaming." She's like,
Fat
"I
ass
don't know."
lazy bastard, feed me.
Yep.
Clean up this room while you're at it.
All right.
All right, so I think that's about it. Rook, do you want to go first since you only have one title?
What?
No, I'm gonna keep the audience in suspense.
In suspense?
And after you guys do your first two.
It's
your
Small
first
Wonder
one.
season 1 by the way, guys.
After your first go round, then I'll
Small Wonder.
I saw this on Netflix, and when I first got it 5 years ago, and I thought it was really good. It's called.
Hey,
So
that's the old Rookie, you know. That's the old Rookie.
Well,
That's
all right, I'll
untrainable.
start then since I think
Okay.
I got more than you, right, Greg?
Yeah, I got 3.
You got oh yeah, so
I
definitely.
got 3.
All right, first things first. I watched Broken Arrow. Yes.
What? Not Bit Twig?
Huh?
Not Bit
Well,
Twig?
You know, I mean, oh, you think I mean the John Travolta one? No, I'm
No,
talking
I
about
know
the
which
John
one you meant, the John
James
Stewart
Stewart one, of course.
I said John Stewart. I can't believe
But-
that.
But this is a fairly well-known film to the point where, like, when the Broken Arrow from '96 came out, they generally had to put the 1996 after it because this film was still so well known,
Mhm.
and it's supposedly based on the actual events as best they could be told at the time. Blah 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 blah. No, it's a bunch of horse shit for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about like the Union soldiers up against Cochise and
Mhm.
what's his face not Custer. Jeez, Christ.
Like-
Who's the Indian that?
Oh, it's
Oh,
Custard's
shit.
Last from Custard's Last Stand.
Yeah, from Custer's Last Stand. But I'm trying to remember the name of the Indian.
me
Geronimo,
too.
and then was it?
I know. I'm trying to
It's
think.
Geronimo, I think it was.
Is it
if I remember
Geronimo?
right now.
I
Yeah.
keep thinking it's
Doesn't
somebody
matter.
else.
They mix up a whole shit ton of history, and the character that James Stewart plays did exist,
Mhm.
but he never fell in love with some Indian girl or anything like that. So yeah, this whole movie is kind of predicated on this whole idea of bringing the end to the Indian-American War through commerce and they start with it's funny because he brought up the postman because it's very similar to that respect, and
Mhm.
in that they start up by saying first, like, can we just at least let the guys through to deliver the mail? So Cochise is like, yeah, fine, because like the whole thing is James Stewart plays a white guy who's the only white guy who's been known to talk to Cochise and live.
Mhm.
Right. So then they send him in to broker the deal. And then as time goes on, they try to broker a peace deal, and it keeps going. And of course, the whole spoilers paramount moment of the whole thing is when, these guys that kill his wife
Mhm.
are these white guys. And of course, he's ready for war. And of course, Cochise is like, no, we will not break the peace, kind of thing. And it's this whole like lesson that's learned because of it. It's like, it's like, okay, it's the sentiment is there. And the movie's great, like Tyrell said. I mean, the third act kind of falls off a little bit. Like you're getting into it, and then all of a sudden the third act happens, and you're just like, okay, that's it. And you want to see James Stewart go on this fucking revenge, fucking like,
right.
like you can't end it here. Like what the fuck are you doing? He should be like, I know I can't do it, Cochise, but I'm going to do it anyway. Fuck them bastards. I'm going to kill each one of them. I'm going to tear their fucking gizzards out.
I'm gonna kill every one of them.
Every one of those white bastards. Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny because I just watched a Western on TV and that was very similar to this movie. And I cannot remember.
Yeah, it's about the
name
Battle
of
of Little Bighorn and stuff too. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I was just trying to remember the name of the Western I just saw on TV. It's very similar to the plot, but it's very different in the ending. It doesn't build up to that. So,
but
yeah, that's cool. I think I've seen this one. It's just been years.
It's one of the more prominent ones. I'm sure you've probably seen it on television or something in passing.
Well, my dad watches Westerns all the time. So.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of the more well-known Westerns, and you got all sorts of great white actors playing Indians.
They even cast Italians too back in the day.
Yeah, a bunch of Italians and shit.
And the white guys.
You can totally tell. Like,
my favorite is when they get like clearly a very fair white woman and they paint them up real dark and give them a black wig.
Yeah, all of them pretty much. And Deborah Pageant, I think, is the main one too. Like, she does not look the least bit native at all, and you can totally tell she's caked in tan makeup. Yeah.
But you can't hide the blue eyes at all. Like they're bright blue eyes.
Well, I think I love you.
Yeah, and my Indian squaw.
Anyhow, so no, it was a fun little watch. I tossed it in, and like the ending happened so quickly. I was like, I think I got distracted by my phone or something. I was like, all of a sudden, wait a minute, this is the ending? What's going on here? I had to rewind it, and I'm like, no, that's just it. It just kind of happened, and I was like, I must not have got that distracted. So yeah.
That's a good movie, though. Yeah, I love good old Western. Good old Westerns are good. But now you'll be getting back into the James Stewart's one because you did all the John Wayne ones, so now you'll be getting...
I still have a bunch of John Wayne's ones to get to. I don't have as many of the Stewart ones, because I think I already watched one of the ones not too long ago, like, or 2 or 3 of them already, if you remember. So I don't know how many more I got left here. I only got a couple left, I think, of his on hand. But I haven't checked to see if Kino's re-upped a lot of their classic stuff anymore recently either, because I got pretty much almost their entire collection as far as the classic stuff goes, but not their entire, but a good chunk. So, but did you see they're on sale right now at
yes, Barnes and Noble
titles or Barnes and Noble? Yeah,
yes, Barnes. They're doing the half-off sale. So, I mean, these sales must be doing pretty good because they've decided to do them like almost all boutique labels now. It's also not just
to remind.
Go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just say, just to remind people, do buy them through Barnes and Noble on these sales. Don't go to Amazon and
do that. So they keep doing these sales. But it's not just
even if you don't want to spend the money on the shipping and handling, if you don't spend enough, I think it's free to have it shipped to your local store if they don't have the stuff in stock.
Yes, if you still have a local store near you, which they're supposed to be opening up more Barnes and Nobles. So.
There are surprisingly quite a few left. Like I see more and more, like because I'm paying more attention. I'm like, oh, Barnes and Noble.
Yeah, it's like I said, they reopened the one down in Cincinnati. It had been closed for years, and they reopened it a couple years back, and now it's huge. So, and plus, I heard they were opening like 20 more stores across the state. So, there's always that.
On that note, I heard they're closing a bunch of Pizza Huts. Thank God.
Too bad it's not the good old Pizza Hut from back in the 90s.
Right.
I miss those red cups. I've always been trying to find like a set of
and their pizza. There's something about it. It's just like it's almost like it's a Temu version of their pizza was back in the day.
Yeah. Well, everything tastes.
There's hints of what it used to be there, but it's like this is still just not quite as good as it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, no, Broken Arrow is good. Check it out. Kino Lorber release. I'm pretty sure it's still available. It's from it says a 2K restoration, but it looked good enough that I'm assuming it's possibly a 4K.
Yeah.
It's an old Fox title, so I don't know if it'll get released again anytime soon.
Yeah, especially with Disney owning it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's just say, there's a lot of this thing could be chucked a lot of racial shit at it because of the I mean, even though it's like, see, like us, we'd sit here and go, no, look at how progressive this movie is for 1950.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're trying to paint the Native Americans as the good guys in this movie, which they do a very good job of. But the downside is you have 0 Native Americans playing your Native Americans.
Bunch of white guys.
Bunch of white and dudes and Italians playing your Native Americans, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Good old classic.
I was kind of surprised. I'm like 1950, and they're this kind of progressive on some of these thoughts and stuff. I mean, that's in the height of the Cowboys and Indians era, right? Like, so I mean, the fact that they made a movie like this back then says a lot, you know. So
I know that's what I was saying. Like sometimes when you watch those older 50s movies from like the 50s, so when you watch them, you realize how progressive they actually really were. And like, yeah, like you said, maybe like white people are playing Indians and everything, but like they were, some of them are a little more progressive, a little more like even when I was watching, like I brought on with Leslie Nielsen, with Robbie the Robot. I can't think of the name right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Like that one, yeah, you know,
Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet. There's some stuff in that that's like for 1954 or 56. I can't remember what it was. It's like some stuff in that was like, I can't believe they did that in the 50s. You know what I mean? Like even the special effects, with the stuff with the women, and it's like how they do that, and it's stuff like that. So like,
well, we got to remember this shit started years ago. I mean, the civil rights and the feminist movement came from someplace, right? Like
exactly.
Sure, things were kind of very, you know, we have this idealistic idea of what life was like in the 1950s for most households. When, let's be real, it wasn't exactly like what Leave It to Beaver shows us. We all know that.
Yeah.
I mean, Daddy had a drinking problem and Mommy popped too many pills. Let's be real. And your sister was already knocked up when she was 17, probably. So, like, it's just, look, real life is way different than television. We all know that. But at the same time, like, you're not wrong. For them to be able to portray that on television is a whole nother level, right? I mean, even you look at the example of, like, the Star Trek episode where Kirk kisses Uhura when it's actually under, you know, he doesn't do it on purpose. It's because he's being forced to. So they even had to do something like that at that point. So people forget, especially when they try to blow this thing out of proportion with a lot of the colorblind casting and stuff that they have lately with all this bullshit. It's like, no, you guys got to understand there is a reason for this, and it's important. And they're starting to get a backlash to this. Yeah. We recently did a video about it, about the blackwashing and other stuff like that. Because it's just as bad or worse in some cases than the whitewashing ever was. And because it also, you know, it is racist in and of itself to do what they're doing a lot of times. I mean, that's where the whole magical Negro thing came from, right? With like Will Smith playing in Bagger Vance and, you know, Green Mile, which we talked about a couple weeks back and stuff like that. It's like, that was the beginning of that kind of crap. It was like, well, it wasn't that there wasn't parts for black people. There were plenty of parts. It's just then all of a sudden they started this, that came out of the PC culture, right? Which was kind of proto woke. You know, like, and so those things were okay to a point, but then you kind of step back and look at them and you're like, yeah, there's kind of an issue here with this. Like, you know, even like the things like The Shining were like, okay, that was one thing back then to have a character like that, but then all of a sudden now all movies have characters like that. It's like, wait a minute. And then you got always this sassy black lady, and you always have the funny gay dude and the butch lesbian who's, you know,
they played into stereotypes.
Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't even sometimes the stereotypes. It's just like, you're not bringing anything new to the table. This has all been explored before in many, many ways. Like, I mean, I've been sitting on it, but because I brought it up before, I think already, but I'll eventually bring it in with my Friedkin stuff, which Cruisin', for instance, which like, I mean, to me and looking at it in his perspective was a very progressive movie at the time, but that movie got so fucking much hate from both sides. Like, it's like, the gay community was freaking out about it and how it portrayed them as far as like, you know, you're making us look like we're a bunch of murdering, you know, perverts. And he's like, well, I just went in and filmed you guys in these clubs. As far as that representation goes, that's you, right? The murder story goes, the only reason for that, he goes, I just wanted to tell a murder story in a unique environment. And the S&M clubs was an environment that in 1980 had not been explored yet. On cinema, you know, so like to him, it was just, he was just doing something different. It had nothing to do with, you know, either trying to make some progressive film or be detrimental to their movement. It was none of those things. It was just, I want to show something's different than what we see in every other movie. Right. So like, that was all that was about. And sometimes that's where a lot of this stuff just comes from, the better stuff anyway, because like, to me, like, I don't come away from that movie looking at it like, oh, every gay dude's going to kill somebody. Like, no. By the end of the film, if you don't walk away feeling sympathetic for the gay community, then there's something wrong with you. You don't have any humanity. It's like, it doesn't matter. They're still people. And these people are just being killed by one of their own, in fact, because of how they're self-loathing and self-hating. It's like, and because of their father, they're just trying to get back to, it's like this whole thing, like, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself there, but like, just to have that, and that'll kind of go into like one of my next movies too, is about how, they forgot how to be real subtle with nuance and telling a story, where even something like Broken Arrow is simple and almost cookie cutter kind of classic Hollywood storytelling that it is. And even though it lies right to your face at the beginning and says this is, a true story as it happened, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you can still watch it and understand that, what, like we just said, for 1950, there's so much racist shit in this movie. You could go at it. You could destroy it. You could beat the hell out of it, punch down on it all you fucking want. But I will sit there and go, no, this is a grand example of how over 60 plus, 70 some years ago, more than that now, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we were that progressive already, that films were getting that progressive, that somebody like, I'm sure Jimmy Stewart was a big part of this story, right? And then you get to the next level where like Eastwood, who actually was finally starting to use real Indians and introducing other, races, whether, sure, he had once in a while, he'd have a Jewish guy play a Spanish.
Yeah.
But that wasn't always his choice either. So
yeah. But no, I mean, and it's also let it be a lesson to you too, because like James Stewart was a traditional leftist, not like today's leftist. He was a
absolutely, total.
And John Wayne was a Republican
staunch conservative,
and they were really good friends, and they made movies together, and worked together. And did a lot of things.
Well, the
together.
Liberty Vance movie is one of the best examples of that, right?
Yes, and it doesn't make either side look stupid either, like it does, like we do today. In a lot of ways, we've digressed today than from back then. Yeah. So,
we regress big time, especially with the views on racism and feminism and sexism. I don't want to drag that all into this shit because that's not really totally what it's about. But at the end of the day, that's kind of part of what the movie is about, really, when you break it down. So, but no, it's just another grand example of how Hollywood used to be able to do this shit right, regardless of how, inaccurate this is. But anyway.
Where should I go? Because I could sort of go off of that.
Well, there was no special features, and I mean, as far as the movie goes, like I said, it actually looks pretty good. So
yeah. I mean, I can't go off the Western aspect, but I can go off the political aspect if I wanted to. I guess I'll do that since we said it got a little political there. So, well, I did, not you so much, because I brought up their politics. All right. Well, this is one you brought. Do you got any other words about Broken Arrow?
No. Am I dipping out, or did you dip out?
I might have dipped out. It might have been me. Can you hear me okay good now?
We can hear you now. I don't know if Rookie's doing anything.
No, I could hear him the whole time. I didn't notice any drop.
Oh, okay.
Must be my internet fucking up for some reason.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, do you have any final words on Broken Arrow before I go? Okay. Now, Tom actually brought this one on once before, and I finally watched it. So I have No Way Out, starring Kevin Costner, Gene Hackman, Sean Young, and Will Patton, on 4K from Kino Lorber. It's a political thriller intrigue movie.
Whoa.
Was somebody saying something?
No.
I thought I heard like glitching there for a minute.
Wasn't me.
Okay.
And he's muted. I have no idea.
He's probably trying to fix his stuff. That's probably why. Yes, No Way Out is a great thriller. Talk about a political espionage type thriller type thing. It's a good movie. Yes, it's a very good movie. I'm still like that ending. I don't want to spoil the ending for anybody, but like the ending has like, man, that ending. It's just like sometimes I hate it, and sometimes I think it's brilliant. The ending of the movie. Because it's got.
I love that movie. I can't believe that one got past me.
I love it. Oh yeah, I love it too. It's just like I was just talking about. I don't want to spoil the ending or anything like that because when you get to it, it's a brilliant ending, but it's also like son of a bitch. You know what I mean? But it also makes you think about like why was he really doing all the things he was doing? But for anybody who doesn't know, Rook, I'll explain it to you.
I like how you assume it's me. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I've seen it.
Go ahead.
So the movie stars Kevin Costner, Gene Hackman, Sean Young, Will Patton. Like I said, Kevin Costner's in the Navy. He's like a good old American Navy hero. Gene Hackman is the Secretary of State, and he's having an affair with Sean Young's character.
That's Pac-Man. That's from Superman, right?
Yes, it's Gene Hackman.
Okay. Yeah,
Brilliant
Hackman.
actor.
Yes.
Brilliant actor. May he rest in peace. He's having an affair with Sean Young's character, who's a woman. She's a woman. She was a very famous woman back in the day. And Kevin Costner ends up also having an affair with. Well, he's single, but he ends up sleeping with her and getting in a relationship with her. Then Gene Hackman kills her on accident, and Will Patton, who is his right arm guy and everything, decides to come up with this plan where since it's like the early 90s still, and we're still at it with Russia and everything, and there's this called a Yuri, where somebody from Russia has been put into America and infiltrated the our military. Pentagon and everything is trying to gain our secrets. So they come with so Will Patton comes with this idea. Will say, well, we'll just say there's a Yuri working here at the Pentagon who killed her, and we'll try to find them, and we'll blame this on that person. And then Gene Hackman's like, no, you can't do that because Yuri's fictional. It's never will work. He's like, no, trust me. We'll find somebody. We'll do it. And that's where the whole Kevin Costner knows they're going to discover him because he was in a relationship with her. And so he's afraid he's going to get caught and be turned into the Yuri and everything. So that's where the whole political intrigue comes in, who's playing who and everything like that. And then has this ending I won't get into because I don't want to spoil it in case you ever do see it. And you really don't see the ending coming. I love the fact that you don't see the little twist coming at the end and everything. So yes, it's a very good political. The 4K looks good, by the way. It's from Kino. Looks good. Sounds good. But it's very good political, intriguing thriller story. I find it funny because every time I seen Kevin Costner run in this movie, because he runs a lot in this movie, I kept thinking like he's doing his best Tom Cruise. He's, you know what I mean? Tom Cruise is always running, and it just, I don't know, it just made me think about that. Yeah, it's Sean Young is from Blade Runner and everything. Yeah. So, but it's called No Way Out, Tim. If you missed it, No Way Out with Kevin Costner. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, but it's a really good, solid thrill. They don't make movies. They truly don't make movies like this nowadays, and they wouldn't make movies like this nowadays too, because George Bush was the president at the time of this, and nobody's putting down the president or anything like that, right? For what he is and all that, and it's but there is it's also sort of very topical because our government is full of dirty people doing dirty things and getting away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Secretary of State who murders his mistress and he's getting away with it. Or, for the most part, I don't want to spoil the ending. So, you know what I mean? So they do bad things. It's a really good, solid movie. I do have to say though, out of this entire cast, because this is the actors in this movie are Academy Award winning actors, top of the notch when it meant something. I got to say, Will Patton, I think Will Patton outacts everybody in this movie. He chews it up as his Gene Hackman's, right arm guy. And speaking of gay characters, he's gay too in the movie. So they even bring it up. They're could, because when they're going through, it's could Hackman's guy, could he have been seeing her too? And the one dude's not likely. He's a homosexual. So I thought that, but he has such a great performance in this movie, and he's chewing the scenery up, and you get to the point, it's when it comes down to this big standoff between these three guys, he's out acting everybody, and what he does is he does what he does in the movie because he's so hurt by this revelation, and you have to see it all play out. But also in the same way, he's still helping Gene Hackman what he does to himself. It's just it's insane. It's so good. It's so good. It's a good movie. Will Patton is a really good actor. And by the way, Rookie, you know who Will Patton is because you've seen, which is funny because you've seen The Punisher with John Travolta.
Oh yeah.
He plays his gay right hand man in that
Oh
movie.
my god. He was like
Okay.
totally my right hand man.
Yeah.
He would use his right and his
Yeah.
left.
Nice.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell, even when he gets to the point in the movie, like the reason he does what he does is because he's clearly in love.
So it's
with Gene
Mr.
Hackman.
Burns and Smithers.
Yes. Have you not seen No Way Out?
Yes, absolutely. I have. Remember, I brought it on like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
ago.
thought you brought it on a while back. Yes, that's what
I
saying.
just never put two and two together. Then all of a sudden, I'm just thinking, oh yeah,
like Mr. Burns and Smithers. Yes, and he's clearly in love with Gene Hackman, and when he does what he does in the movie to himself, is because not only is he hurt and betrayed and whatever, but also in the way he's still helping him. You know what I mean? Right up to that point, it's insane. It's insane. Yeah, Sean Young she looks good naked in this movie. What can I say? she was at that right spot in her thing. Yeah. So Will Patton is also in Armageddon. And yes. Oh, that's right too, Tom. He's the villain in Costner's Postman.
Yep.
That's right. Damn, I forgot how many. Like when you don't even think about how many movies Will Patton's in, because
I think he's done quite a few movies with Costner, actually.
Yeah, he's not like a huge name, but like you've seen him, you know him. He's been in tons of shit. So yeah, but no, it's a really solid political thriller. So if you've never seen it, yes, I know they do that scene where he's eating popcorn, running alongside the limo, watching Charlie Sheen and that woman in the back of the limo. That's great. They spoofed that scene when Kevin Costner's doing her in the back of the limo. Yes, he's in Horizon. Yep. That's I've not seen Horizon, but I know I've seen him in the trailer, so I know that. But no, yeah, the 4K looks good. If you guys, right, like we mentioned earlier, Kino's on sale. You can get this on sale right now, 50% off. Kino on 4K. It is worth it. It's a solid thriller, so check it out. But yeah, like I said, you really do not. 1987. I'm sorry, if I was thinking 90s, this is 1987. If they don't really, they truly don't make movies like that anymore. It's like the adult. When I say
no, this was before Kevin was real big. I mean, he's big, but he wasn't.
Yeah, you can tell he's really young looking in this movie too. So, and when I say like adult movies, I don't mean like Debbie Does Dallas. I mean like something for
Mature.
Yeah, mature for like mature audiences and everything, which is weird because like I don't know. It's just like I saw something where somebody was talking about how one of the reasons they think cinema is dying is because they decided that Hollywood and the studios decided that it's no longer a risk to make small movies similar to like this or smaller movies and let them flop in the box office. So that's why you get all the big budget IP franchise movies, and that's all you get from them now, is because they'd much rather just put them out and try to hedge your bets on the surefire thing than take money to lose money on something like that. I wish I could find that video again because I was watching it and guy made some really great points about that, and it doesn't make sense, but it's also so much more than just focusing on big budget movies. So much more than that. But yeah, check it out. If you've never seen it, check it out. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I mean, who doesn't, right? Where's it at? Who doesn't? Style section. Who doesn't? I mean, it's good. It's good. Same year.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And greetings, some dumb guy. Glad to see you out there as well. All right, Rookie. Do you want to do your one and only pick?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Yeah. All right.
Let's
this is a physical movie in my hand.
Let's see this.
That of which I hold.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
Is indeed.
Azrael? What the fuck is this?
That's exactly the reaction I was hoping for, Tom. Because I'm like, well, it's Samara Weaving, and I was like, okay, let's see. And the Starburst down here says, one of the modern horror,
Who
most
the fuck is
ferocious
Starburst?
new warriors. Says Starburst.
So a piece of candy decided this?
I'm like, okay, let me see what this is. And I didn't look at the back, nothing. It was in the $5 bin again, you know how I do. And my God, this is So I can sort of know what's happening, but not really. It's like I don't know, like the rapture happened or something, and so it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of thing.
What the hell even is that?
And like they choose to not speak or something. I didn't understand if it was like a magical they can't speak for sinning or something, or they choose not to so that they don't sin. But nobody speaks a word in the movie at all, so there's no speaking. But there's like some whistling, there's like panting and grunting here and there and whatever. There's like demon zombies in the woods that they try to sacrifice her to. But she gets away, and I don't know. The zombies feed on somebody else. I couldn't. They're just like they look like charred people, so I couldn't tell if they're supposed to be zombies or demons. I don't know. They're slow and kind of act like zombies, but it's a cult. They're like ritualistic, and there's all these Bible quotes going around. So I don't know. And she gets revenge and kills them. It's kind of like kills the people that tried to sacrifice her, kind of like in Ready or Not, but that was like a better concept essentially. I don't know. There was still 30 minutes left of the movie that I didn't finish because I was like, I don't know. I don't really care what happens anymore.
The movie.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't really care to watch the rest of this.
It's a goddamn thing.
So, it's like, that's 30 more minutes of my time, and I just don't think it's really worth it. So
that I can't argue with. But damn, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys know I've wasted my time on a lot of movies, but it's like, I don't want to waste my time on this. I'm like, you know what? I'm good. Like I don't care what the ending is. If you guys want to see what the ending is, go ahead. But like
not particularly.
I didn't care. Like her boyfriend sort of guy got killed, and then it's like, well, I guess all she's gonna do is get revenge on the rest of the people that are left, I guess, and that's it. I don't know. There's no dialogue is an interesting way to do it. I'm fine with the movie not having dialogue, but like it's not interesting what I'm seeing.
Easy way to sell it in a lot of countries.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of bored just watching her going around, and I'm just like, I mean, she's going around, and it's really nothing deep in it. It's just stuff kind of happening, and she wins sort of, but barely, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. I give them props on the attempt at this type of film, but it's like one of those type of movies I would go, yeah, it's like an indie movie and you made it and nice, but no, I wouldn't recommend people watch it.
Well, wow. At least we'll get Dr. Shark on next week to talk some decent movies.
Yeah, one of these days I'll bring some decent ones on too. But yeah, I was hoping it was going to be Samara Weaving. I'm like, yeah, why not? We'll see what it is. But no, she's in a crapper.
So it's bad. Yeah.
So is anybody? I take it nobody in the chat has seen the movie either.
Only Steven deleted.
Nobody's even heard it. What?
Steven has seen it. He mentioned it earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
It sucks.
Samara's acting's great and all. Yeah, it's fine. She acts how she does, but yeah, the movie itself is kind of boring to watch. And like again, there's movies where there's not that much dialogue or they speak a different language, and you're kind of along with them and you get it, and it's like, okay, nice. Oh, the funniest part in the movie though, there's one funny part, not intentionally funny. Like she's running away, she's getting away from the bad guy, she's bleeding, injured, whatever, and then this one guy almost runs her over. Then he pulls over, and then he's like the first person to speak, but he speaks a language that we don't understand. So, and there's no like text on screen either. So I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Okay. But he's not in on the cult stuff or whatever, I guess. Gets her in the car, plays some music. She's really enjoying the time for a moment. And then suddenly he gets shot in the head with an arrow and then runs over the guy that shot him in the arrow. Cause the guy that shot him with the arrow just stood there until the car ran him over. And that was funny for a sec. I was like, nice. And then, yeah.
Sounds like an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Tom, do you know when Horizon Part 2 is coming out?
I've been hearing rumors that it should be hitting video at some point this year, but I'm not 100%.
Okay, cool.
Which means it'll probably get a streaming deal first is what they're trying to sort out, I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't know what's going on because with the whole suing thing, and it's hard to say.
Yeah. There's a second movie that I was going to try to watch today, but I had something else to do, unfortunately, that it looks like one of those 50-50. This could be, as Clark just pointed out, could be a great use of my time or a wasted youth. Like it could be awesome or it could be awful. And I was hoping to actually watch that one, and I wish I did that one instead because it looked more interesting. Just the concept and the visual on it in the first place looked better. But we'll see next week. We'll see.
Rook, it surprised me that as long as you've done things, you're still a rookie.
I feel like
he's aptly named. I mean,
well, it's like, I kind of thought about this when I first made the name. I'm like, I'm going to be a rookie for like 30 years. So
you've been a rookie longer than Nathan Fillion's been a rookie.
It's not going to be a point where I'm like,
of the homework though. That's what I'm saying. Like, how much more can we fire him?
Yeah, it's like I do just enough to go. We can't just get rid of him, but like, he did this, but then he did that too. So, but then he's funny. So, oh man, we can't get rid of him that easily. No.
If you think you're funny, okay.
I do make you guys laugh.
We're laughing with you.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Rookie. You have to thank me for still being here, because Greg left it up to me at one point, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, let him stay.
Yeah. I can imagine there's a meeting, lots of voting and decisions, lots of councils.
Oh no, it was a pretty short meeting.
And this Rook guy, huh?
Should we keep him or not? He kind of pisses
I figured at this point
off.
I'm just kind of an occasional guest at this point.
At this point, yes.
Until I can come on like for more than 5 shows in a row or something.
Perpetual rookness.
Yeah.
What's Runner doing?
Shit. He's got a
Hey,
life.
see what's that? Yeah, I'm here and I watched.
He's
a
actually
movie,
trying to make movies. He's out there. He's got a life, and it's more like, Rookie. I admire what you've done with what you've done, but it's like, what have you done with your life since, other than Subway?
Yeah, I'm working on a project.
Okay,
but no, you're right.
No, I'm just picking on you.
Everybody
I should have by now. I should have applied a lot more film knowledge to my life.
We're waiting for the Subway movie. Because I mean, if there's anything you know anything about,
go. Yeah.
Wait, have you guys not seen my Subway guy thing? National Sandwich Day video.
I saw that video.
That was one of my first ones, sorta. One of my first like skits.
Didn't you get like retweeted by Subway?
No, Subway. They didn't give a shit. No.
They were probably embarrassed.
I tried to emulate.
This guy doesn't work for us.
I tried to emulate like Spartacus from the show. And I'm like, I'm going to show this man what a Subway employee with cause is capable of. And I'm like all dramatic, trying to be cool. I'm like, yeah, he gets superpowers on National Sandwich Day.
I'm serious. This is dead serious because this just gave me an idea. All right, watch the movie Clerks. I know we all
then just remake it in a Subway.
Exactly. That's what I was just getting at.
I've been recommended Clerks so many times. That is one of those movies
you
that
haven't seen it.
Timothy, come on, Thomas.
Come on, nothing. That's like a movie that like you should have seen just because you want to be a filmmaker. Like that's the type of movie that idiots like me see and go, I can fucking do that.
Yeah.
You could seriously, Rook. Watch the Clerks and then take your camera to Subway and you will film a movie. Guaranteed. Since you've been working there for years, you got friends there, people do shit for you. Watch Clerks and then I guarantee you will get inspired. I guarantee it.
Okay.
You've seen other Kevin Smith movies, haven't you?
Name a few. I've probably seen
Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
No.
Oh my god. I don't even like Kevin Smith
think
that
I've
much
seen,
anymore, but he is
seen
kind
that,
of almost like...
Yeah.
Seen that cop the when he's on a
Cop
rascal
Out doesn't
or something.
count.
Yeah.
Cop Out's horrible.
That's not even really one of his movies. He didn't write it or nothing.
That's probably one of the only movies of his I've seen.
And that doesn't count. Hey, 19K Fox, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Long time no see.
It was a simpler time. What's up, Fox? It definitely was a simpler time.
She come to my house and help me set up all these one-ups I got that are still in the box, man. I got the Terminator and the other one and stuff. They're just been sitting there. I gotta get them set up.
You better get them steps soon.
I know.
Rook, that's your homework. All right, that is your homework. Watch the movie Clerks. I hate saying this because you know how much I hate digital and streaming, but if you have to, just watch the digital or streaming because I know you ain't going to buy it. So watch. That's your homework. Watch Clerks, and then I guarantee you could make a Subway movie.
Okay.
I'm dead serious. All right.
If
I'll
anything,
watch-
it should
I'll watch
inspire you to make how to make a movie. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, it shows like you should watch that and then watch El Mariachi.
Mm-hmm.
And those two movies, if after watching those two movies you're like, I think I could make a movie, then you're never going to be able to make a movie.
And I recommend listening to the commentary on El Mariachi because Robert Rodriguez gives you film school during the commentary.
His book is great too. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff he talks about is in his book. But yeah,
Yes. I
Yeah, that's a Robert Rodriguez movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes, I will, like in the beginning of the commentary, I think it was on El Mariachi. I could also be on Desperado. He goes, in this, as I do the commentary, he goes, I'll explain to you how you can make a $5 million movie look like a $15 million movie.
and I think that's basically is what he's doing is saying a lot of the stuff that's in
Yeah.
his book.
Yes.
I've seen Desperado.
Is awesome. Yeah. Desperado is actually the sequel to El Mariachi.
It's more or less the remake / sequel. Yeah,
Yeah. He had more money for Desperado and he hired actors.
the guy who played the part in the first one is one of the bad guys in the second one, so it's kind of like but he's not playing the same role now. Antonio Banderas is playing his role, but yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, El Mariachi is actually probably if I remember right when I brought it on, didn't I say I like that one better in some ways?
You did. I think you said you did.
Because I mean, I love how stylistic Desperado is, but you can kind of feel the grime, and there's just something about El Mariachi that you're just like, God damn, this movie, like you can tell that he was just shooting by the seat of his pants. And he makes what Kevin did look like shit.
Yeah. And he explains it like maybe it was like $100,000, like a couple $1,000.
He didn't have jack shit. He had a lot less
Yeah.
than what Kevin had. That's for sure.
I think that's what it said. It's like he had like maybe $500,000 and he made it look like a $15 million movie or something.
I want to say it was a lot less than that, but
Yeah. So, but he explains it in a commentary. But be warned, El Mariachi is in Spanish. It's not English.
There is an English dub for it.
There is an English dub.
I'd probably watch the Spanish though, just to get the authentic, because I know that sometimes dubs can ruin some of the vibes.
I still have to get through, or didn't I get through Once Upon I think I did get through Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I just didn't care for it all that much.
Yeah, I'm not. I know some people like it, but I wasn't a fan of Once Upon a Time in Mexico myself either. I love Mariachi. I love Desperado, but Once Upon a Time.
I was going to say I knew it was under 10 grand. Bryant Barth, I think, is right. 7,225. That sounds about right because Kevin spent 4 times that almost on Clerks. And then you watch the two side by side, and you're like, "How the fuck did he do this?"
Yeah,
I'm talking about Robert Rodriguez because you're just like, this kid has got some fucking something.
Well, as Cheech Marin pointed out, when he worked with Robert Rodriguez, he makes the Mexicans play multiple parts and do double duty. So that's what he says.
Wow, I mean, the first film just feels so fucking raw.
It feels almost like a documentary almost.
In some ways, but it's still a film, right? Like you still see the DNA there that's going to come out of that, kind of like with Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Reservoir Dogs is still even maybe a little bit more polished, obviously, and obviously had more money. But I mean, in those two films, you can and with add in Kevin Smith and Clerks, which is funny because they all kind of are alumni of the Weinstein crew.
Yep.
Like just how they're defining film like that was just kind of like one of those things where it's just like you can see their DNA already in that early development. But anyhow,
yes, seriously, do yourself a favor, watch Clerks, watch El Mariachi, and watch Reservoir Dogs. Those are 3 movies as a filmmaker. Whether you like Quentin Tarantino, whether you like Kevin Smith, whether you like Robert Rodriguez, those are some great movies to watch as an aspiring filmmaker because they will help you. They will help show you how you can take nothing and make it look incredible.
Yeah. Okay, I will try to watch all 3 of those by next week.
I don't.
We
plan on
will
that
be
happening.
we'll be suppressed if you can watch all 3 of them by next week. But all right, at least one
I'll
or
be
two would be
impressed if
nice.
he watches just one. Personally, I'll be impressed if he watches one.
Well, it's like the expectation: will I show up, and will I watch more than one movie, and will I watch all 3 of the movies? That'll be the challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, what might have been Corleone Rogue, or even his Conan would have been bitching.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
The real question is, though, would you guys want to, for a Subway movie, would you want like a comedy or like a horror or a drama? Like what type of a Subway movie would
it a
make
porn.
sense? Well, that's too easy.
I think it would lend itself more to a comedy.
There's already one. Well, there's already
what?
one person who's been fired for pretty much that that went viral recently.
That can play into a script.
Yeah. That's smart.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
that's
a
too easy.
manager, so you can work it out.
Yeah.
Shoot the movie, and before they find out, you're like, phew.
Yeah. Especially if your camera, you got a really good camera, you can do it, no problem. I mean, like a lot of the money that these guys had was spent on cameras and stuff too, because back then you actually had to use film. Now you don't have to. It's cheaper. It's like cameras with your phone are like almost on par with movies today. So
That's true.
yeah. So Jared, the return.
No.
Oh, dang. Very bad.
That's bad. That is.
I was
very
thinking
bad.
comedy horror would be interesting.
That would be fun. Yeah, that could be something. That could be something that's never been done at a Subway. Comedy horror.
Yeah. I mean, in my Fat Speedster thing, I had it where, like, as if like the Subway employee is my brother, essentially, and he's a happy-go-lucky. Hey, welcome to Subway. How are you? And then Rook is, fat, lazy, got a grown-out beard, looking tired and haggard, and the Subway employee is like, "Hey, what can I get you? All happy in this? Oh, you should get some veggies, you picky fuck. Come on."
All
There
right.
we go.
Well,
Yep.
thanks for the shitty movie you picked out that you didn't even finish and couldn't even really explain. But
Well,
you
I
had your
explained that
homework.
pretty well. There's a rapture, some zombie-ish things, and a cult are happening, and she's trying to kill them because they killed her boyfriend and tried to sacrifice her to the things, and nobody can talk.
All right.
Yep.
Well, you have
Yep.
your homework, so
Yep.
at least one of them watched. But Tom, what do you got for us with the next pick? If you
Oh,
are
shit.
ready.
Well, here's one that Rook should probably see as well.
All right.
It is from filmmaker Abel Ferreira,
Hmm.
who you may recognize from such films as like Bad Lieutenant.
Yep.
This is probably one of his most well-known and most beloved films, although it flopped at the time of its release. It's a little movie called King of New York. It's got a hell of a cast.
Nice. Nice.
And this, of course, is the limited steel book from Lionsgate Limited,
Nice.
of course. And the movie itself, I believe it or not, I've never actually seen it before.
Oh, really?
It
Me
was
neither.
one that just kind of got past me, and I've been well aware of it for years. And it's one of those movies where you watch it and you're just kind of like, there's a lot of stuff happening. And it's not until you get to the end of the film where you realize, oh, that's the fucking story.
Yeah.
Because it's it doesn't treat it's okay. It's a movie that takes a lot of Abel's like B-level stuff that he came from to begin with, the exploitation and stuff like that. All that's here, right? But at the same time, you have this very stylistic prestige film at the same time, if that makes sense. Like one of those like the type of movie you would make for pure Oscars, right? Like, I mean, the cinematography in this movie is there. You wouldn't notice it at first, but as you're going along, you realize everything is a choice, right? Well, I mean, of course, everything's a choice, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know.
like, it was not like any of this stuff was accidental, like the lighting, any of the moments or the moods or any of that shit. Everything was set up on purpose. There's a red, white, and blue motif that goes throughout the film, right? And you start to pick up on that. And then the whole idea in the story, just to kind of give it an overview, is it's about Christopher Walken's character, Frank White, who's a gangster who's been in prison and he's just let go back onto the streets. And the first thing he does is come in and start taking over by killing all his competition. And his main guy is Lawrence Fishburne, and it's also got Giancarlo Esposito in this thing. You got fucking Wesley Snipes and what's his face from NYPD, whatever the fuck. Guy.
David Caruso.
David Caruso's in it, and whole like it's just a great fucking cast. And a lot of these guys are early on before, like, this is just on the cusp of Wesley Snipes becoming Wesley Snipes and stuff like that. And Lawrence, I think, was still billed as Larry. But what's funny is, like, oh, God, yeah, Tyrell, yeah. Lawrence steals the show in a lot of ways because he came in and his character was supposed to just be your typical gangster, right? Your typical Italian gangster. But when he took the role on, he's like, I want to do this like what the street guys are like right now. Right, like the actual guys in the hood. So he's like, for as far as we know, like for the first time, he was one of the first gangsta, representations on film. And even though this film came out right around the same time as New Jack City, the problem with the movie was the way it was advertised in comparison to where New Jack City did very well. They feel like, if this movie had been advertised correctly, it probably would have had a bigger urban audience.
Right.
And the thing is on first glance, you don't realize what it's about. Like, you look at the cover in most cases of the poster that it used to have, and you're like, what is this, about Wall Street? Is this about some investment broker? I mean, it's Christopher Walken. Is it some, prestige piece? What is it?
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, so it's about this guy's re-rise to the top, while at the same time, so what you got going on simultaneously, and this is what I kind of figured out about the movie as I'm kind of watching it along and picking it apart, is you simultaneously have a guy who's gone from the bottom, like literally let go from prison, right? He's literally been in prison. Now he's back out. He's re-rising to the top, and he's got these ambitions of making New York better. Not just taking over and becoming the king of New York and crime, but he literally wants to make New York a better place.
Yeah.
And you kind of start to believe, you're like, if you give him a few years, he could be mayor, right? Like and that's basically what he says. I want to be mayor. Like, and he's like, I can build hospitals, I can do all this stuff, and he could clean this town up in no time. Well, you also have the cops on the other side who are trying to nail him, right? Like, even before he's really done anything, they're already breathing down his fucking neck. I mean, yes, his guys have done shit, but like, he's to the point where he's not even done anything when he gets out. He's already getting, harassed by these guys. And so you also have the same time as these guys who are these cops who are supposed to be the most, we all know cops, some are corrupt or whatever, but it's not so much that these guys are corrupt. They're just falling into they're becoming Christopher Walken.
Right.
And it's very parallel in that sense where you have the fall and the rise. And by the end of the film, there's this beautiful fucking sequence that ends the film. And this is where the movie all comes together and you're like, oh, I fucking get it all now. It all makes complete fucking sense. And it's not in one of those ways like a, oh, gotcha kind of moment. It's just like you finally realize what you've been watching this whole time is what I just explained. Because these cops on the other side, played by Caruso specifically and Wesley Snipes and the other young guys, they're like, fuck this guy. We need to take him out. And the older cop's like, no, we need to do this by the book. Because if we're going to be no different than him if we don't, in so many words. And that's kind of what's happening is these guys are becoming him, right? Like, they're literally taking the law into their own hands. They're literally going to commit murder because this guy, they just want to get this guy, so they're becoming him. And not to spoil it too much, but like, you get to this beautiful scene between the old cop and Christopher Walken when he literally breaks into his house after killing the other cops. And he's like, I'm not your fucking problem. I'm just a businessman.
Yeah.
The problem's out there, and you guys are part of the problem. Everything is, they have this great moment together, and it leads up to the final chase. And it's so fucking brilliant. Like, I mean, seeing now this movie for the first time and then seeing Bad Lieutenant again, because I saw it when I was younger and I just kind of was like, it's a grimy little fucking cop movie, whatever. Yeah. But when I rewatched it for this show, when we rewatched it here when it came out in 4K, I was like, oh, fuck. This movie there's a lot going on here. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of that in here too, right? Like this whole idea of the gray. Like Abel really plays around in the gray areas.
Yeah.
And you really see a lot of his exploitation bleeds through, but at the same time, the guy can tell you a fucking story about these guys that you're not supposed to like, but at the same time, you find yourself rooting for them. Mm-hmm. Because at no point is Christopher Walken necessarily a good guy. And that's going to lead into my next pick too.
Well, you can go ahead since you got.
I was going to say, do you want me to just keep carrying on with this? Because like, okay, so how does the film look? The film looks pretty good. I'm not sure if it's just the era, if it's an older scan. I feel like it should pop a little more. It should feel a little bit more fresh. I didn't feel like there was any real major DNR done to it, but it just kind of felt like, I mean, maybe it's just the way the movie was shot. It almost didn't feel like it was the negative. Maybe it's not the negative. That could very well be, but it still looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The 5.1 remix though is a fucking loud mess. I do suggest sticking with the 2.0 stereo track, which you have to switch to.
Which is good that they put that on there, because I like when they do that, because sometimes
it's
they
much
don't put it on
quieter.
2.0.
It's much quieter, but the space in it and the way it's set up is much more like a movie. For some reason, the 5.1 track has everything blaring, and there's even some points I swear it got to like it hurt my ears. Like certain things were too loud and too obnoxious.
Right.
But of course, with the music in this film, I mean that helps too, because it is one of the first big hip hop kind of gangster films.
Right. And
So-
this might also explain why Christopher Walken is so popular amongst the the hip hop generation and all that.
Christopher Walken could walk into the hood and not be hurt. at all.
Exactly. He was always very, I think maybe
Not
this
even get
helped him
mugged.
with that.
If anybody tried to mug him, them motherfuckers get shot.
Right.
And not by Walken, by somebody else who come up and be like, "Are you fucking crazy? That's a king of New York, bitch!"
Yep.
Fucking just motherfucking Max Shrek in here.
They would. I mean, guys like that's old school movie star power from like people like they believed it, and that's Walken too, because like he makes you believe it, because you believe he could still be it today. To this day, he could be king of New York, no problem, even if he quit acting.
Yeah. Well, and Boba Fett, I did not know there was an issue with the 5.1 track, and maybe I got one of the messed up discs, but I would think I would get a reprint considering I ordered this with Dogma, so like this had been out already for a couple weeks or months. Like this isn't even brand new. This has been out for a couple months at least, I think. Because wasn't this one of their earlier releases through the limited?
A lot of them saying they got theirs from Arrow 4K version of it.
Oh no, I got Lionsgate limited one.
So
And it must have the same mussed up 5.1 mix then, because it is just obnoxious.
Yeah. So I didn't even know Arrow released it on 4K. So.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't either. It's the first two I heard.
All right, though.
But yeah, so on that note,
what else? Since you want to continue on to that, so go ahead.
might as well. I finished a journey that I started, and I got this
Did you wake up
semi-beautiful box set of The Sopranos.
Nice.
Speaking about characters you're not supposed to like, and how is it really that much different to be a mobster than it is a businessman? I mean, this show, it's kind of all about that. Now, what's sad is this does look a little bit better than the streaming versions,
Right.
but only by a cunt hair. Like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, it's very minimal. Like, this show needs remastering so fucking. And how is Warner Brothers like? This has got to be one of your most popular. You know, I'm bitching about this right now, and this motherfucker was on sale for $50, and that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
Next week, how much you want to bet they announced The Sopranos is coming to 4K?
You'll get 4K. You'll get 4K.
Because it's been long enough. You're like going, how is this not one of the shows that they're like, okay, we got to fucking remaster that in 4K?
Yeah, I guarantee it'll happen. Because next to like people always debate to this day, because Rook will like this is like, what is the better show, The Sopranos or Breaking Bad? Because
I haven't seen Breaking Bad. Sadly.
I know you haven't seen, but like we were talking before the show started, which we'll get into this here, is like how it changed the face of TV, The Sopranos, because of the character, and like you mentioned, it's a central point of the character you're not supposed to like. But damn it, so many people loved Tony Soprano. You know, he's a character you're not supposed to like, and he's a flawed character and everything. And then
he's very selfish, yeah.
Yes, he's very selfish. And like, one of the scenes I always, because I've seen the whole series myself as well, so I could talk to you about this. I saw it when it was new, when HBO used to be a cable show, cable channel. So like one of the scenes I remember is like him sitting at the table with his family and his sister, and like, he purposely agitates his sister about her black baby she gave up or whatever. And he just gets everybody yelling at everybody, and he just gets up and walks out, smokes a cigarette, walks out.
He's a shit starter.
Yeah, he's a good shit. Like, he can't stand
He's
when
his
people are
mother.
happy. Exactly.
Well, that's the show. Okay, so like, if Farouk, who has no idea probably what this show was, or if he doesn't remember it, the whole thing about this show is it was a show that was supposed to end up flopping. It was supposed to be a big snafu by HBO because, first of all, it had the wrong name. What the fuck is The Sopranos? Is it about singers? What the fuck is this? Is it about opera? And then, even though the script and the and the pilot was shot in 2017 or 1997. Sorry, Jesus Christ. It didn't come out until the same year as another movie that was very similar in plot called Analyze That. I don't know if you're aware of that movie, Rook.
Heard of it? Don't know.
Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal, about the mobster who goes into therapy, right? So yeah, as they're making this show and it gets picked up, someone goes to David Chase, hey, you hear about this De Niro film? Like, what? What about it? Yeah, it's about a mobster who goes to a therapist. He's like, fuck! Because he was shopping this movie around, or it was originally a movie. And he'd been shopping it around for years, and nobody wanted it. And then all of a sudden, he's in the midst of finally getting the show picked up after 3 years of babying this thing. And fucking, he gets told that somebody's making a movie just about the same goddamn concept. Well, the least beauty of it is Analyze That is complete fucking flat out comedy. Balls to the wall comedy. Sopranos, on the other hand, is a completely different fish.
Yeah.
It is a very... I love that David Chase explained that, you know, it is the generation that was influenced by The Godfather. The Goodfellas book and film are his Bible. And that's where you have all that, speaking of DNA, bleeding into this show. And some of the things that were kind of going on in real life with some of the actual gangsters at the time and the type of gangsters they were. And this is kind of like the first time we really seen modern gangsters on film, like actual... You know, mafioso.
60s or 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
Modern times.
Exactly. And Tony is... What's sad is how much of you see yourself in Tony.
Right.
And then you start to like, oh my God, am I as bad as him in some ways? And he's a very complicated individual. And from the start, when he goes into his therapy with the doctor, who's great. I can't remember her name, but the actress from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And you know, so... And it really, the show is really mostly about the women in Tony's life. His mother, his wife, his therapist, his mistresses, and his daughter. That's really what the show is mainly about, is how he and his sister, did I say his sister?
Oh, no, you didn't say sister.
Yeah, but I meant that too. The mainly is his women is like, to the point where his son almost becomes an afterthought until the last season.
Yeah.
And they kind of make a point of that, of how Tony is kind of, I mean, it's not flat out said, but you kind of have this thing with his son where he's like, he has never really been a father to his son.
Right.
In any real way. And you can see why his kid is fucked up as he is. And he's not fucked up but he's kind of like torn between what should I be?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be this straight-laced citizen? Am I supposed to be this gangster like my father? You know, I mean, and they do some really great stuff with him, and same thing with the daughter, even though her story falls off in the second half of the show. I mean, there's a big point that is set off because of her. Or not so much because of her, but because of something that's said to her.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, again, in the beauty of the show is also, it's a lot about the ins and outs, about family means, and what it means to be a family in the family, right? Not to just be a part of the mob, but actually be literal blood.
Yeah.
Right? And how Tony faces both the line being crossed with his own blood trying to kill him and, spoilers, killing his own blood. Which is supposed to be some of the big no-nos, you know, in the mafia. And like, that's the other thing too, is how they show the rules that are different now.
Yeah.
But also how there's a clash of the old school with the new school. And it's kind of reflective of how when in the 60s into the 70s, when you had the old school gangsters and mafiosos fucking going up against the newer, younger guys like Joey Gallo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but only more modern. And it's kind of what it is. It's about Tony kind of grabbing control. And is his downfall because he's getting too greedy? Is it because he's distracted by, between the therapy and his love for women and the women in his life? Or is it something else altogether? You got to kind of answer those questions yourself. And that's what I love about the show. And that's why people, let's, kind of discuss the last episode a little bit, Greg, because I know you and I really wanted to discuss that a little bit more.
Yes.
Because when it came out at the time, it was like the Game of Thrones of its time. People were pissed.
I remember, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, because I remember watching it, and I remember also seeing on the next day on the news, like, people called their cable companies and HBO, like, what happened? Did the something cut out? Where's the rest of the show? They were flooding their cable companies and everything with phone calls because, for you don't know, Rook, not to.
Well, that's the only thing I know about The Sopranos is that everybody hated the ending.
Cuts to black.
I don't hate the ending. I get it.
Yeah.
You can see
that's what I mean. Like,
I've
I've heard people complain about the ending or the controversy about the ending, but yeah.
Well, what is the inevitable ending going to happen to Tony? Right? Like, I mean,
He's gonna get killed.
Well, in most cases,
He's
yeah,
a mob
exactly.
guy.
Like, most of these guys don't have a long lifespan. Let's be real. Unless you're somebody like his Uncle Junior who actually gets to the other side of it. At that point, if you're somebody grabbing for that much power and doing the shit that Tony was doing, it was almost inevitable by the second or third season this motherfucker was going to die. I mean, you had everybody trying to kill him already. I mean, he's like Kevin Costner in Yellowstone at that point. Like,
everybody's gunning for him. He has the most power, and he wants more.
You think it's that people wanted to see him get shot and then they'd go, now it's over.
It's funny you mentioned that. Yeah,
ahead, Tom. I was going to say you wanted.
Well, I was going to say because like the creator David Chase was talking about how, he would get cornered by a lot of people, even people in the industry who were pissed about it. And he'd be like, what the fuck did you want? Did you want to see the whole family gunned down or just Tony's, is that what you wanted to see was Tony's head blown off and his fucking, him laying in his spaghetti or what? Like, what do you need? Like, what else is there to tell you? And then also there's the other side of it too, where it's like, at least the way it was left, it's pretty obvious what happened. But then again, is that what happened? You could also turn around and come back to this at some later point because they had actually, and they talk about this in the roundtable they have, about how they had actually talked about doing movies.
Yeah.
So there was a plausibility that they were going to let Tony live. But sadly, we lost, the actor, James Gandolfini, and that kind of put the kibosh on that and leads us to the next movie. But at the same time, it was like, okay, so this to me was the perfect ending in a way. In a way, yes, I'm pissed because there's still some things you could have explored. There's some places you could have gone. The show could have definitely gone on for another 4 or 5 years. Don't get me wrong. But at this point in your life, Tony has kind of reached a peak. Right?
He could get main character syndrome later as it went further, right? Potentially.
Maybe, but it's not even that so much as as much as you like Tony, he's bitten off more than he can chew, and he kills a character that he cannot be forgiven for killing. And I'm not going to spoil that.
I know, yeah. And it's
Greg
funny
knows
because he absolutely hated him so much, and it's just like, why? But of course, you've seen the show, why he hates him, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. And
yeah. And then that's kind of the moment where you realize, oh shit, this is it. And if you're somebody who knows anything about the rules, quote unquote, the rules when it comes to movies or shows, that character's going to die now.
Yeah, and up until that point, like you mentioned, like because like what you don't do in a mob is killing your bloodline. Like he kills some.
He technically did it once already, but he had to. It was
there's two of them, like Steve Buscemi and what's his name?
That I don't want to say, but like
well, the other guy before that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Because of the horse over the horse. What is his name? He's Joey Pantalone. Like I don't think that's I
can't remember his name, but are they even? They're not related though.
No, I don't think they're related, but I think he ends up doing it.
No, he's just dating his sister. That's all it was.
But like these two guys are like guys you're not supposed to kill in the mob.
That's one of the colonels, right? Like, and then there's other colonels. The main colonel, though, I think that kicked this whole thing in motion is the guy that he kills over his daughter. Because for those who don't know, like getting into the show, as the New York guys are getting more power, the one guy that he doesn't like is getting more power in New York. They're getting more gutsy and they're trying to like goat Tony into basically starting his own little war so they can wipe him out. Is what I'm guessing from what I gathered from watching. I'm gonna have to rewatch a lot of it again, But anyway, the point is that's not important. What's important is one of their guys comes up to his daughter in a restaurant and she's on a date and literally starts like fucking coming on to her and saying shit that's big no-nos.
Yeah,
right? And Tony is actually well within his rights to do what he wants to do. But he does not get the okay because it's like, no, it was just a minor infraction. Yeah, you shouldn't have done it, but at this point we can't disrupt the peace. But Tony's like, fuck all that. Right? Like, that's my fucking daughter.
That's my daughter.
And that's the moment that I think something that murder that he commits is kind of like that moment where it's like, okay, this is the thing that set everything in motion. That and the asbestos. Mm-hmm. The asbestos was the other thing that if you're paying attention to that storyline, that's the other thing that gets him killed.
Yeah.
It's a whole like, a whole bunch of things coming together to kind of be like, okay, this is why this character's got to go. Because even if you like him, there's things that he's doing is not good.
Yeah, that's true. And that's like the thing too, like you mentioned, like is like nobody wanted to see his head blown off in the diner, but also people wanted him to live. But at that point, he can't live. It's same as like Walter White. That's why they get compared so much with these two shows. It's like at that point, Tony cannot live, no matter how much you like.
I think people wanted to see Tony go out in a blaze of glory, but let's be real.
Live or get away.
That's not how these things happen.
It's not, especially not the mob.
No.
Yeah. So
they get you when you're in your most vulnerable, when you least expect it. You know, that's kind of like one of the greatest scenes in King of New York, to go back to that real quick, is when David Caruso gets smoked. That is one of the greatest fucking bits in that part too, because you don't even see it coming. Let alone he doesn't see it coming. The audience doesn't fucking see it coming.
I mean, Game of Thrones kind of does that too. You know, that probably might have been inspired by The Sopranos.
The Sopranos inspired all those shows. Every one of those shows.
Yeah.
Even though it's based off of a book series, the way it's presented by HBO is all from Sopranos. So.
Yeah, and I know some people could go watch The Sopranos now, and at least I know from like the logistics of the obvious, time period it came out when it was made. But if you watch it now, it's kind of more quaint in comparison to some of the more modern streaming shows. Mm-hmm. Even though a lot of those shows take take everything from this is really kind of in its rawest form. You don't have the hanging chads in every episode like you do. There's a lot of ways, like you can almost dip into this show at almost any point. Yeah. And the ending's almost perfect because it's kind of sets it up in itself. It's a way for, like, it just keep them going in circles with it, in cycles, and you can just watch almost any episode almost any time except for those latter episodes and really kind of not be lost. Because almost every episode is pretty self-contained, and they were still in that era of self-contained TV in a way.
Yeah, yeah. It was very transitional show, because like you said, because like it was self-contained, but it is also very serial at the same time.
Yeah, you have the overarching story that's there. You can go back, and I can't wait to revisit it because I know what to look for. But because like at first I'm like, I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, and I was kind of expecting more of a Deadwood type show where I do get left on cliffhangers constantly, and that's not what the show was. So there was a refreshing part of that too. It was kind of like, okay, each episode does kind of wrap itself up, but you're right. It does have this overarching story of Tony trying to take, the rise, where his uncle was actually the rightful guy to probably take it. But at that point, his uncle's losing his fucking marbles.
Yeah. And like Tony really isn't even the boss for a long time. And then he's
not to like boss, season 2 or 3. I think
not the boss, because his uncle's still the boss until.
Technically, I think till season 2 or 3, yeah, somewhere in there.
And Brian Barnes has been asked this question a couple times about Nancy Markin's death, kind of in the show. I believe that was his mom, I believe.
See, and here's what's sad about that is there's stuff they could have used in other places and probably outtakes that probably would have made more sense. I don't understand why they did it the way they did.
Yeah, with the face.
Yeah, and because she just kind of repeats lines from before. It's like, if you're going to do that, why didn't you steal some other stuff that would have made more fucking sense? Like, because it looks bad, but at the same time, it's like it's worse than the Princess Leia crap. Because you might as well just had her die off screen at that point. It almost would have been more poignant that we're in the middle of something happening, and all of a sudden, because the whole thing boils down to, it's kind of weird that that's what it kind of boiled down to, is she was the one that was kind of putting Tony in the position he was in. Mm-hmm. Right? to where he was looking at trying to figure out a way of getting out of this deal with court and going to prison, and she dies. So with her dying, it kind of makes things go away because there's no witness to tie him to these stolen plane tickets.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually based on a true mob thing that happened or something like that. But like, I think because I remember hearing about it. If I remember right, it was something like that similarly in Goodfellas. It just didn't make the movie. Like there's a bunch of shit in Goodfellas that kind of pops in here and there. So I'm like, oh, that's where he stole it from, because it didn't make it into the movie. Like there's this whole storyline in Goodfellas where they're like they're trying to get these college basketball teams to shave points. It's not even mentioned in the movie, right? But it's a whole big section in the book. Right. So yeah, so like there's kind of like shit like that all throughout this show, right? Because that's kind of like the show is everybody's kind of trying to do their thing, and Tony's trying to do his little things, and his little things are kind of causing everything to kind of come to a dead halt, and it's because of this development project that he gets into. And I believe there's ties to that in this. I think the one character in here is supposed to be either the father, the guy that dies, I think, in The Sopranos, this guy. Black guy, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look up to be sure.
Yeah.
But so what I'm holding up here for those who aren't looking is the Many Saints of Newark, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because everybody was like, "Oh, it's fucking horrible."
Yeah, I was here. I haven't seen it. I have not seen this one, but I've heard it's like so many people were complaining about this, so I was like, "Oh, should I even watch it?"
Maybe that's why I didn't hate it. I didn't think I loved it though. Like it was all right. And I'm like watching it going, is this supposed to be like a backdoor pilot to a prequel series or what? But a lot of the characters get killed. So you're like, I don't know.
And wasn't speaking of Goodfellas, Ray Liotta, didn't he play Christopher's dad in this? If I remember,
he plays two different roles in this movie, his dad and his uncle.
Oh,
so
really?
yeah, there's actually a few more people they added in this that's really good. So like the basic storyline is about Chris's dad is the main character. And John, Tony's dad, is getting out of prison. He's kind of a secondary character.
Right.
And then Tony is also a character, but he comes in more later along. So like, and maybe that's people's complaints, because you go through this whole spiel like earlier on, and then it jumps ahead in time, like maybe 5-10 years. I can't remember which. It tells the time period, but I watched a little bit ago, like last weekend, so I can't remember exacts. But the highlight, besides some of the cast, you're like, why did they pick this guy? He doesn't look or sound or act anything like the other guy, the older version. And then you got some people you're like, God damn, they did a good job picking them. But the highlight is probably, Gandolfini's son playing himself, right? Like it is probably, and he's good. He has the mannerisms, he has the voice. He's really good at playing this younger kind of, not quite Tony yet, but still you can sense Tony's in there.
Right.
And you look at him and you're like, God, he looks like his dad. So it helps.
He does.
I mean, I almost would love to see a young Tony series with his kid, because that's kind of where the last half of this movie is, right? The first half being, the fathers, and then now it picks up with the sons, right? So, and there's a lot of little cool nods here and there for people who have been paying attention during the series, and that really helped with me just watching it, because like they even have the thing where the first time Tony holds Chris, he's like, the mom bitches, because like every time you hold him, he cries like this. It's only you. I don't get it.
Yeah. which when you see the show, you'll understand.
I don't understand why he doesn't like me. He doesn't. And then this one little lady's like, yeah, sometimes babies can sense things from the other side. Like, and Tony just kind of gives her this weird fucking look, and it's like, yeah.
That's funny.
But you got John Bernthal playing Tony's dad, which is great. See, now I wish they'd have done more with his character. And then, of course, like you said, you also have the black guys coming in here, which I believe are supposed to be the civil rights guys that are in the show. I believe that the one guy that would be his kid in the show, and the guy that died that was played by that, I forget the actor's name, but he's a great actor. I think that's supposed to be this character. I think I'd have to double check, because this is kind of like how he got his start, the black guy, and then also Tony kind of coming in and all that kind of stuff. And it's more like Tony making the decision of what he's going to do.
Right.
Because he's not quite there yet. Because it kind of starts out with, it's kind of this whole, it's funny because you see the parallels in the relationship between him and Chris in the show, and Chris and his dad and Tony in this movie. And kind of how why they consider themselves family, why it's important. But the thing with Chris is, and this is the point I was going to make before, even though he's technically not blood, he's considered blood, and this movie
Yes,
explains
yes.
why. And it's just because he was considered family, even though
Right.
he was not technically related to them. So
Once
they were
your
rated.
family, though, your family.
Yeah, once you're
Yeah.
actual family, that's the thing. It's like even though it's
Yeah.
not blood, it's still considered blood.
Right, right. Maybe I'll have to give this one a watch. Maybe I won't hate it as much as everybody else did.
I mean, the parts that I kind of like fell off on was like some of the. There's a big kind of side story with his Gumar, and she's fucking both Chris's dad and the black guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's kind of one of the side stories. Just like whatever. Her shit's kind of like drags the show around or drags the movie around. It kind of feels like some stuff sometimes did in the show where she's kind of dragging it off into
Right.
other directions. But other than that, like the main story is just kind of like pretty much there and intact. And if you were a fan of the show, there's enough for you to enjoy, I would think. But I can understand why some people would be disappointed. Kind of almost reminds me of the Deadwood movie. It feels like this was meant to be more like
Yeah.
a trilogy or a couple of movies, or maybe even, like I said, setting up a TV show that never got to be because it didn't get received as well. But as it is, it's fine. I thought it was good. I happened to get it on sale, and the 4K presentation is excellent. So
Nice.
there you go. Maybe it'll get thrown in with that 4K box set.
I would laugh. I know it'd be bad, but I would laugh so hard if tomorrow I scroll through Twitter and somebody says there's a good 4K box set of Sopranos.
Honestly, I can't believe it hasn't been. Like,
I mean, yeah.
of all the
Especially
TV shows,
the-
we've got Seinfeld already in 4K. We're getting a few other ones. Like, I don't expect many shows to get a 4K release. This one needs to be remastered, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially the earlier seasons look like donkey shit. And you can tell they were shot on film, but what you have here is old HD scans from back in 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003. It's like, they look like shit.
How many seasons are there?
6.
Oh, okay, cool.
And there's actually like, I think 13 episodes a season for the first
Yeah.
5 seasons, and then the 6th season is technically 2 seasons split up. So it's actually more like 7 seasons, actually.
I think that like by the time the 6th season rolled around on cable, that's when they started to do that whole thing on cable. Where it's like, this is season 7 or season 5.1, and then this is 5.5. You know,
They
where they
split it
them
up
like
because I
that.
think what happened was they decided at the last minute that this was going to be the last season.
Yeah.
So they ended up because I think the first half of it, they're like, okay, we're going to cut it off here and then go back and rework everything. But they already knew where the show was going to end. Like, David Chase knew exactly how he wanted the show to end. And The Wire should be another. Like, there's quite a few shows that I think deserve a 4K. Now, you got to remember, there's some of these shows that if they were shot on digital cameras at certain areas, there's no sense in it.
Yeah.
Like, Enterprise is a grand example of that.
Mhm.
Like, sadly, I don't think it will ever get a 4K, and it doesn't need one. And
Yeah,
if it does,
'cause
it'll be
it's-
AI convert. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, you're not wrong. I mean, this Sopranos, whatchamacallit, that I was just trying to think of these HBO shows. The
Deadwood
Wire,
needs a 4K.
Deadwood, oh my God.
Is Breaking Bad already in 4K?
I don't think it has a 4K.
Well, I know
but-
Game of Thrones is.
Game of Thrones has been, because they were filming
Sex
the
in the
4K
City will
too.
probably end up getting one.
Yeah, I think I have the Blu-ray of the Breaking Bad, so yeah, I don't think it's in
Tales from the
4K yet.
Crypt need Blu-ray. Tales from the Crypt needs a Blu-ray at least.
It's going to be a shit Blu-ray from what we've heard, though. That's what pisses me
Yeah.
off. Somebody's got to find the film elements for that. What the fuck happened to them?
You would think with all the big time directors and stuff that put all that, they would have preserved that film better than what they did.
My understanding from that interview and what I know is that, because I did some further research, is like, yeah, like, what was it, Larimar Television or whatever was the, and Universal were like the two other, like, because it wasn't technically owned by HBO.
Right.
It was a show that was produced, and then they distributed it, but then they in turn owned the rights to the show in perpetuity, but they don't have the other masters, and that there's some shit that either they were lost or lost in the shuffle of sales from companies.
Right.
But HBO has the rights to release it on Blu-ray and DVD and shit like that. So they are doing a Blu-ray from our understanding, and they're up converting it as well. It's all going to be up converts though. So I have no idea how good they're going to look.
Maybe I'll just keep on to my DVD set. We'll see how it looks when it, but yeah.
Animation is the only thing I've seen, and we're talking simple anime. We're talking like old school 80s, television animation is the only stuff I've seen that looks really good with up converts. And even then, it still matters what the source is.
Yeah.
If it's from the videotape master, it's not going to look very good. But if it's from a film master that they happen to have and they just didn't, like Masters of the Universe is a good example of it.
Mm-hmm.
The play-on discs that they released overseas that were up-converted from the 520p rips of the show from the 35 millimeter scans do look really good.
Right.
I mean, there's like, as I was watching them, I started to notice a few anomalies and some of the limitations, but it was not nearly as noticeable or bad as something else, some other things I've seen that were up converted.
Right. Well, you never know. Maybe tomorrow you'll see, or coming soon, Sopranos on 4K, because I have seen a lot of, like, I don't know if maybe the people that are working at Warner Brothers there right now are trying to get out a lot of physical media before Netflix buys them, because it feels like they're trying to get out a lot of physical media before this happens. Take that as
well. And like I said, sometimes when these things seem to go on sale, it's always like,
yeah. And
you would think this was a show, that they would have.
Exactly. You would think that. If they're on 4K, it's the same as like the Blu-ray disc, because that's not really technically 4K. So the bitrate and everything, because stream anyway.
The most you might get is a little bit of a boost from the dynamic range from the Dolby Vision, if it's in Dolby Vision, but that's even debatable.
But no, I enjoyed The Sopranos. It was. I often debate that myself because I have seen Breaking Bad and I have seen The Sopranos, and people argue which show is better, and it's hard because they're both so really good and they both are such great character-driven pieces. Besides,
what's
Tony
weird is.
Go ahead.
No, finish your thought. I'm sorry.
No, it's like between Tony and Walter White, that these two figures of how, like, Tony is already in the mob, right? And he's already sort of a bad guy, but you fall in love with his character. And then Walter White was actually a good guy and he becomes corrupted, but also it's like, it's such a, like, there's like yin and yang to each other and how they're done. And like, I think
Walt desperately wants to be. Walt wants to be like Tony Soprano, probably.
Like Tony. Yeah, he wants.
He wants to be like him.
I think Breaking Bad might have a better ending than The Sopranos, but to be honest with you, I really couldn't say which show's better. Maybe Soprano. I don't know. It goes back and forth.
What I was going to say is I never really thought of comparing the two. Like, this is actually one of the first times, if not the first time, and I'm not saying nobody ever has. I'm just saying this is the first time I have heard anybody kind of compare the two. In my mind, when and granted, now keep this in mind, I've never actually seen Breaking Bad.
Right.
But one of the reasons why I never did is because when I heard what the plot was, I'm like, oh, so it's fucking Weeds, but with meth.
You're not too wrong in the beginning.
See, and that's the show I always kind of compared to, see the parallel to, and Weeds is kind of similar in that sense too. Is it's about her character. I forget her name, but
Mary, whatever.
Mary, what's her face from the show? She, her husband dies unexpectedly. And so she's stuck with all these bills and stuff, living in suburbia and 2 kids. And so she starts selling weed to make ends meet. And it goes in balloons from there, kind of like this whole thing of first it's just selling dime bags and eighths and quarters to people she knows. Next thing you know, she's getting caught up in, drug dealer bullshit and then, cartel bullshit. And then she actually ends up in prison at one point and all this other kind of stuff. And I mean, the show has its ups and downs, but after seeing that show, I'm like, why would I want to sit through Breaking Bad? It sounds like the same fucking show.
Breaking Bad, I get your point, and not that Weeds is a bad show because but Breaking Bad,
it does go downhill. Those last 2 or 3 seasons really fucking stunk.
Breaking Bad is solid through and through, and as the show develops, if you like the word to sit through it, you could really see the parallels between Walter White and Tony Sopranos. And I know this is like the first time you've heard it compared to this, but it's like I've heard people compare the two shows because they're considered two of the greatest television shows.
Yeah, that I can see as far as like how they do mention that actually in this. Now that you mention that, I'm like, so it is technically the second or third time that I would have heard it because they actually mentioned it once in because the behind the scenes stuff that they did on here with this bonus disc, they must have did this a little while after the show was done because they already talk about James Gandolfini being dead.
Yeah.
They talk about this stuff in hindsight, like it's been a few years and stuff like that, to where they even mention how it's been compared to Breaking Bad, which obviously came out way after.
Yeah.
Or not way after, but enough after to where it's like they had to have gone back and do all this stuff. So yeah, on the second part of season 6 here, it's actually on the bonus disc. All feels like fairly new stuff from when this box set was probably put together, and was a few years even after season 6 was done. But
yeah. No, I mean I get your comparisons to Weeds, but as that show goes on, it very much does get into like some Sopranos type territory because he creates this persona of like Heisenberg is like his criminal persona, and he gets into some like he has a quest for power like Tony Soprano. He wants to be this, and he gets into the underbelly of things, and like bad shit happens.
Well,
really
and there's so many other
bad
characters
shit
at the
happens.
same time that you're invested in as well. Like not just Walt. Like there's quite a few that you're like really engaged with.
And that's similar with
throughout.
The Sopranos too, right? Is you have and same thing with Deadwood, and even Entourage to a point.
I would put Deadwood right up there with these 3 shows. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, Deadwood is definitely up there.
Yeah, I love Deadwood.
And I feel like Entourage isn't given enough praise usually. I mean, I know some people don't really care for it as much, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you know anything about that show, like that's a show you should watch, Rook.
Yes.
Have you ever watched
that's
it?
another
Greg?
it's another one of the many that have been recommended. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good look at what the industry is really like, and it's loosely based on Mark Wahlberg's experiences.
Yeah.
I think this would be kind of interesting, maybe, Tom, if we can, like, if I can actually if I can actually get on the show consistently, which right now with where my work's at currently, that might be possible, where I'll be here weekly.
It's how they predicted that Aquaturd was going to be the biggest DC movie.
They did it. Entourage. They did. I remember that.
Right. But like if
The
you
joke
watch,
was they let him use Aquaman because they're like, we'll never make an Aquaman movie. Go for it.
Yeah.
And the joke is you got James Cameron directing it. Brilliant.
Yeah, and it makes $1 billion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rook. I know.
Yeah, sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt you there. It's just like one of those things that I think you'll get a kick out of in the show. Otherwise, it's just mostly about how, rising as a movie star, dealing with, and Ari, the agent, his shit on his end, and he's based on a real guy. Vinny Chase is the character that's kind of the stand-in for Mark Wahlberg, basically. But you see him go from his humble kind of like, the only thing they leave out is his musical career, basically. Like, it's really what it leaves out. But like all these guys that are in his crew are based on real people.
Yeah.
And what's cool is, I don't know if I think it's on the Blu-ray where they had this like thing where they had like the real guys meet their counterparts, and like the real Turtle was fucking hilarious because he is so much like the character in the show.
I don't know if you ever watched the Wahlburgers TV show.
Yeah, that's another thing. I think I've seen a couple episodes. Yeah.
The real guys are on there a lot. So, and he makes the one guy I can't remember who it is, but he makes fun of him so bad. The real Johnny.
His brother. Yeah, well, that's Donnie. Yeah.
Yeah. But like one of the guys that's like basis for the character, that's not.
It was Donnie, I thought. Wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Or was it another guy too that he knew?
I can't remember the guy.
Probably a mixture between the two then, because Donnie was his brother, but then he.
Rook, you should check out.
Well, Donnie is his brother. I mean, but he was into acting before. I think they both tried getting into acting around the same time, didn't they?
I think Donnie started a little bit first. Right?
Was it a little bit first? I can't remember now. I mean, well, he was the new kid, so he had more of the prestige. But then when Marky Mark had the Funky Bunch, I mean, that was like game over then. And then I remember Mark Wahlberg just doing movies from there on out. So like,
I can't remember who did what first, because I know Donnie was in like The Sixth Sense. I know that.
But that was a little later too. And I remember him in Ransom. That was one of the first times I really remember seeing him in something. I'm like, holy shit, that was Donnie Wahlberg. And same thing with Sixth Sense. Yeah, like fuck, that guy can act.
He's not very good in Dreamcatcher. He goes full retard.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he's got a few. Don't get me wrong. That could be the direction too.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'll just say he's the superior between him and Mark. Mark's the basic kind of like. He's like the Chris Hemsworth of the family. You know what I mean? Like, he's the good-looking one. He's the whatever. But like, he's the guy's guy. But like, Donnie is the one who's got the acting chops. Like, if you watch Ransom, if you watch Sixth Sense, like I didn't even. Yeah. That is a movie. Like I put that up there, and I'm like waiting the whole movie for Donnie Wahlberg to show up.
Right.
And we're watching the end credits, and my girlfriend at the time, my son's mom, actually goes, "He was the guy in the beginning." I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No.
I actually had to rewind it myself. It's like, where the fuck was Donnie Wahlberg? And then when I rewound it to the beginning, it's like, oh, he's that guy. Yeah.
Man, that guy deserved an Oscar nomination just for that 5 seconds he was on screen. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
But no, he's been in quite a few things since, and of course that cop show really kind of put him, on the map.
Blue Bloods.
But yeah, no, like as far as HBO shows go, this is kind of The Sopranos is kind of the transitional period, I think is what you called it, Greg, and I think that's a really good way of putting it because HBO prior to this, like the closest thing they had to this was probably Tales from the Crypt, like you mentioned, and I'm trying to think, did they have any real serious shows? Because a lot of their stuff was very, I mean, they might have had some like sexy shows, but
yeah, I was gonna say they had that show where it was about that single guy. What was it called? I keep wanting to say it's called Singled Out, but I think that was on MTV. Do you remember this show? It was on HBO.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Singled Out was on MTV, but it's like, yeah, I'm trying to remember.
It was like a single guy in the city, and he had chicks. Or
but it was more of a comedy still, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a comedy with some.
That's what I'm saying.
Comedy with some nudity. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like Sex and the City and The Sopranos were the first time they really kind of did these shows where, and Oz, I think, was one of the other earlier ones.
Yeah, and I know that I think Oz and The Wire came after The Sopranos, right? Or were they before The Sopranos?
I'm trying to remember now because I think What's Her Face was already in the Orange Is the New Black by the time she was in The Sopranos, though, too. So that was another kind of earlier.
Dream On, that's what it was called. Thank you.
Dream On, yes. See, that was one of their more prestigious shows, but it was still a comedy, right? And you also had like the Larry David Show and stuff like that, and even I believe What's Her Face had a show on there before she went to Fox. Tracy Ullman.
Oh, the Tracy Ullman show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the HBO version, and then she went and moved to Fox, which was pretty much the same kind of show, but it was like more, like, honestly, I feel like she had more money when she was on HBO, but I mean, she probably got paid better when she was on Fox. But still, that being said, like, yeah, so you had a lot of those shows, but The Sopranos was kind of one of the first big prestigious shows they ever did that was taken seriously. That I think put HBO on the map as a serious contender, and it stole Sunday nights. Like people forget for a while, like kind of like what they did with Game of Thrones. Kind of Game of Thrones came in and took over the. But I'm trying to remember, didn't The Sopranos do better ratings than Game of Thrones, or am I wrong?
I think they probably did, especially. I mean, like
during the finale, probably.
Yes, Game of Thrones was a big show, but that was also in sort of an era where, speaking of transitional, it's still an era where they were starting to transition into streaming. So like HBO, they were big shows, but like everything was starting to go streaming at that time. But I think Sopranos was still probably the most watched, but I couldn't be for sure about that. But I would assume Sopranos was probably more watched. So
well, probably wasn't as limited because you'd have to join HBO to watch Game of Thrones to Sopranos was on TV, right?
You still had to pay for it. So Game of Thrones was still on regular HBO at the time when it started, when you still had to pay your cable company for HBO. But then you could get HBO Go. Which was what it was back in the day where they were starting first. It's like HBO Go, and then eventually became HBO Max. Now there is no HBO channel, but then again, if you have cable, you can get the HBO Max streaming service for free right on your cable service. So kids, streaming is just cable. It's just cable.
Yeah, it's just cable now.
Go right back to where they were in the first place. So, but no, I think Sopranos still holds like the most watched for them at that time.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be a good idea for Tom to start watching Breaking Bad and I start watching The Sopranos then, so we can finally all have our opinions on the shows.
I would be interested in your opinion on Breaking Bad, Tom. I really would, especially after watching The Sopranos. I would love to hear your opinion on that. I would. I've never seen Better Call Saul, though. I've never seen Better Call Saul, though. I never did watch
I still recommend that, but that's not an urgent one. That can be anytime kind of a show.
Remember, I can't help you there. I never watched Carnival and I never watched Rome.
I've watched some of Rome. Rome's pretty good.
I know people talk about those shows, but those shows didn't last very long on HBO. They were like 1 or 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons for Carnival, but I never watched them. So I can't,
Yeah.
All right, Tom. Any final? I know that was a long conversation, but it was a really good one. I enjoyed it. Any final
Well, I
words?
mean, it was
on
6 seasons in a movie. I think it
It's
kind
6 seasons
of,
in a movie.
and in another movie before that.
Have you seen Community? Because you just the TV show Community. Tom, have you
I've seen, I think a few episodes, but it wasn't one I really got into all that
I know,
much.
but
I mean,
that is I watched the show for a little bit, and that is like one of the things they said in the movie in the show is 6 seasons in a movie. We're gonna get 6 seasons in a movie. So that's when you said that. That's what I'm sorry. It just made me think about that. So, anyway,
I just purchased Clerks, so it'll be here tomorrow morning.
oh,
there you go. I would love to hear your takes on this. I've actually been thinking about watching Clerks.
I don't know if the
again,
release is still available, but they had one that I have that had Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Chasing Amy, and Clerks all in one
nice.
set.
I haven't seen Chasing Amy in years, but I've been waiting for the 4Ks because I heard they were coming. So, yeah. But anyways, final words on Sopranos, and then we'll go if you have any final
Oh, it
words.
was a great show. I'm glad I finally got a chance to watch it all. It was a show that I've been wanting to watch for years. And until recently, it just hadn't exactly been feasible without buying the entire show or having HBO Max or whatever, because I just didn't have access to it at the time. So, yeah.
Right. All right. Okay. Not that this goes along with the Sopranos or anything, and this is one we've just talked about before, so that we don't need to have a long conversation on this one. I've brought it on, like, I think 3 years ago, but I rewatched So I Married an Axe Murderer with Mike Myers. I just had a hankering to watch it, so there you go.
It's a good one. I
It
mean,
is
guess
a good-
Rick
it's
hasn't
a good
seen it.
Probably not. Have you seen-
What's it about?
You've never seen So I Married an
It
Axe
kind
Murderer?
of says it right in the fucking title there.
Yeah,
Rock.
that's why I said it like that. What's it
No,
about?
actually, it's pretty fun film. It's one of
Yeah, it's pretty
Mike
funny.
Myers' only other good films besides Wayne's World and
Yeah. And Shrek, if you like the Shrek movies.
Shrek movies and
I was never a fan. of
Austin Powers. That's what I was trying to think
Yeah,
of.
Austin Powers. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, Austin Powers. Wayne's
Size of
World.
the head on that kid.
That was a little. What's he say? That was a little much. He's going to lay down and have a good cry on his huge pillow. Let's get pissed. Yeah, he plays his dad in that too. But no, it's funny. It's the central plot of the movie is Mike Myers is like this beat poet in San Francisco who can't keep a woman because he always finds something wrong with her. And he meets this woman here, Nancy Travis, his character, who is a butcher, as they say, in San Francisco, and he falls in love with her. And his mom reads the Weekly World News. Talk about, is that even still in print? Is the Weekly World News still in print? I don't know. But his mom reads the Weekly World News, and in one of the stories in that is about a black widow who has murdered her 3 husbands, and they don't know where she's at. So he starts to think that this woman that he fell in love with is this black widow who kills her husband. Kills her husbands, and so that's like the gist of the movie. And he does marry her. So I married an axe murderer. But there is a mystery to it. It does get solved at the end. It's a bit of a dark comedy. It has some great cameos in this movie. Phil Hartman is great as a tour guide for Alcatraz. He's so great in that movie. You even got Charles Groban, who's really good as the dad from my mind is going Beethoven, which I'm sure I say that for Rook, even though he's from.
I know that movie. I've seen that movie.
I figured that's the movie you knew him from, Charles Groban, and the one comic who flies the plane. I can't think of his name, but Kramer from Seinfeld makes a great appearance in the movie. So it's really good. It's really good. No, but it's really funny. He plays like a lot of people mostly remember his dad because he plays his dad and like Mike Myers. He also plays his dad as a Scottish, and he has the funniest jokes as his dad. So like that's the fun because Mike Myers plays this really straight for the most part. It's like one of the only movie you will see him be as normal as you will see him be normal. You know what I mean? Because like you see him as Wayne, because that's not Mike Myers, that's him as Wayne. You see him as Austin Powers. You hear him as Shrek, and this is like he's Mike Myers. So you know. So that's it. It's a funny movie. It's a dark comedy. It's good. I highly recommend it. It's the Blu-ray might be a little hard to get. This might actually be a little hard to get a hold of still, because I know it's hard to get the Blu-ray for a while, and then the 4K came out 3 years ago, and I'm not. It's probably still good. It's probably still good. I don't know. Sharon Stone was originally intended for I did not know Sharon Stone was originally intended for the lead female role. I know Nancy Travis, I guess because of her, she had to step into the role because they needed to fill it. And I think she was married to one of the producers or something on the movie. And luckily she did because she fits perfectly. I mean, Sharon Stone, I think would have overshadowed the movie personally, especially after I could see why because of Basic Instinct, where she played in that, how they could have played up the comedy, like, oh, Sharon Stone, he falls in with her, she's another killer, like Basic Instinct. But I think Nancy Travis works really great in this role as the woman he falls in love with. She has this vulnerability about her. Yet she's pretty, but she's not like super pretty. You know what I mean? She feels like more of a real woman that Mike Myers could have fallen in love with. I think Sharon Stone falling in love with Mike Myers. I don't know if I would have bought that. the way the movie's presented, I don't know if I would have bought that. I don't think he could have pulled Sharon Stone. This woman, I believe he could have pulled with his little jokes and stuff and his beat poetry. Sharon Stone, not so much. Not so much. that's just me. This is me. Oh, she wanted to play both. Yeah, I could maybe see that. It still would have been too much. I think it would have been too much. Yes, she's like girl next door hot. She's the type of girl you actually do want to fall in love with. Like, yeah, Sharon Stone's hot and you want to nail her because she's got a great body and she's gorgeous, but she's not the girl you fall in love with and want to marry. This is the girl that's why it works, because this is the girl you fall in love with and want to marry. You know what I mean? The girl next door that's like, she's not out of your league. She's out of your league, but she's not out of your league. That's the way I see her. You know, that's the type of woman I'm looking for. What can I say? But no. It was good. It's a good movie, and it does. You know. So I married Ex Murderer. Is she an ex murderer? She's not. You'd have to watch the movie to find out. So I don't want to spoil it. But no, it's a great movie, and like he's got a good friend. His friend is a cop in the movie, and it has one of some of the funniest bits too, because like his friend's a cop, and he wants his boss to yell at him like they do in the cop movies and TV shows, because his boss is so nice. You know what I mean? You know how like when they come in, it's like, "Hey, you son of a bitch! I've had the mayor breathing down my neck. You need to stop acting like that." You know, in those movies and shows like that. Like his boss is like, "Oh, it's okay, bro. It's all good, man. We're police officers. This is what we do. We got to do the paper and stuff like that, right?" And he's like, "Come on, man. It's not. I thought I would be like Serpico. I thought I'd be like Al Pacino or something." You know. So, yes, Alan Arkin is great as his nice captain. So yes, it's really good. And so like he even gets him to start being like that like the captain from the movies. He's like, "Did I do like one like he comes running in screaming and yelling at him, saying stuff like that?" And he's like, "Did I do good? Was that good? Was it a little too much? Was I too far with the ethnic slurs?" So like he gets it. It's really good. Like the whole movie, everything is really, really good. It's really good. So it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, we have a piper down. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. But yeah, the 4K looks good. I think I'm not sure if you can still, because I know it's hard to Blu-ray to get, but I don't know about the 4K. Does anybody know out there if it's still hard to get this 4K? I don't think so. I think it's still pretty decent. But yeah, it's worth it in my opinion. It's a funny movie. So that's really all I got to say about that one. I doubt you ever saw it, Rook. Yeah. I'd be curious. How many Mike Myers movies have you actually seen outside of?
I've seen the Austin Powers trilogy. Mm-hmm. I've seen name some Mike Myers movies so I can.
Shrek, Austin Powers, Wayne's World.
I've seen Shrek. I've seen Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
I've seen the Shrek movies. I've seen Wayne's World 1. I've seen Austin Powers trilogy.
You should see part 2.
I've unfortunately seen The Love Guru. Yeah, that was mostly for Jessica Alba.
Oh yeah.
but,
Oh my god, I
still.
forgot about the Love Guru. That movie is such a shit movie.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It
I
is.
forgot about that movie.
I saw it for the Alba
Thanks, Rook,
and
for reminding
was
me.
not worth it.
Oh yeah, Cat in the Hat too. You know,
I have
what's
not seen
sad?
that.
My kids love that fucking movie. They've watched it like
I'm sorry.
30 times. I cannot stand
Sorry
that
for you.
movie. They love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm like, God, I hate the movie. I hate it. Yeah. 54. I remember him being in 54. I haven't seen that in a long time, that movie. I don't remember liking it too much anyways, but yeah. Is Mike Myers? Yeah, Mike Myers is in Glorious Bastards, right?
No, well, then I've seen that too. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's in Bohemian Rhapsody, but I think that was just thrown in there as a joke because of Queen and Wayne's World. But anyways,
yeah,
yeah. We've talked about that before. Like I said, I think I brought it on like 3 years ago. So, Tom, if you're ready, if you're ready for your next pick of the night, you can go because I know Rookie ain't got no more.
yep. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Rook. You're
Mhm.
causing dead air here, Rook. You're causing dead air.
Hey, I'm not causing the dead air this time.
Yeah, you are.
Tom.
I don't know if Tom's back yet. So.
You go to the bathroom, maybe, probably. But listening to us, like, dude, I'm taking a piss. I can't. I gotta wash my hands. I need two hands to steer this thing.
No, go ahead and watch out. Check out So I Married an Axe Murderer.
But I guess to fill time while he's away, I've been rewatching Arrow a little bit, the DC verse show.
Yeah.
A little, just because it was one of those things where like it was one of those ones where I'm looking back on like, was that good or bad? I don't know. I don't remember. I remember liking it when it came out, and I was going back to kind of see if it was, because I know it gets ridiculously stupid as the DC verse expands or the Arrowverse expands, I guess, as it goes. Like, was it actually kind of good at the beginning? I'd say it was moments of goofiness, but I really like the way that they tell the story where he's on an island for 5 years and then he comes back, and so you're getting the present day storyline of him and stuff in the past, and the way that it introduces certain characters here or there that return, I think, was done pretty well. Manu Bennett is awesome as Slade Wilson. He's also in Spartacus as Crixus. Good actor. They have a good dynamic there, and what happens. I mean, yeah, a lot of it's pretty good, but I know that like by season 4, especially, it starts to get like crazy because they have a guy basically use the Force, and it's like, okay, that's where we're getting a little out of pocket there.
Sorry.
You go. You're welcome. There you go. Now,
Are you ready for your next pick, Tom?
My next two, because you got one left, right?
I got one left. Yes.
All right. Where am I going to begin with this shit? I'm trying to even remember here. All right, I'm going to do them this direction. All right. Now, some of you may be familiar with this. You'll definitely remember the poster art. If you're a video store aficionado, you might not recognize the title on this version here, as it's called Monster Shark and not Devilfish.
These are different.
Devilfish is a much more fitting.
They're the same movie.
You can't tell from the poster here.
Yeah, no. Well, in the names, I'm like, well, shark. I don't think of a fish.
Well, here's the weird thing: is this is supposed to be a shark, but it don't fucking look like one. It's more like Sharktopus.
Yeah, pretty much.
But oh my god. Oh my god. So let's get the first things out of the way. This old Code Red release looks okay. It's not very good. Even though it claims to be a brand new scan with extensive color correction done in America, it's got noise reduction all over it. It does have a audio commentary, which I don't think made its way over onto the other release. But on this other release here, this is from Severin. And this is actually a pretty nice set. This is remastered in 4K. It is only a standard Blu-ray, though. But it looks really good. And it actually comes with the soundtrack, too. And a nice collection of special features.
Nice.
And a reversible art, so I can actually, I think the other side's devilfish. No, this one doesn't have the reversible art. Sorry, I think it's the other one that does. So it's the other one that does, which I think also has a monster shark cover, if I remember right. Let me look here. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's the same thing. It just says monster shark. That's all.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right. So that being said, what is the movie? Okay, so it starts out. It's actually not that bad. Like the actor, like, okay, so what is this? This is an Italian-made movie to cash in on the Jaws phenomenon, right? Let's be real. And they did a ton of these things. In fact, I talked about the documentary Sharksploitation not too long ago, which is kind of all about these films. And I think that's where some of these got their remaster from and all that kind of business. Because I actually have a nice set of these from Severin that just came out, but I only got one of them watched here. So, but that being said, so the movie is about some genetically made shark that's on the loose that has tentacles and killing everything and blah 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 blah.
So it is Sharktopus.
It is basically Sharktopus, but I mean, it's one of those movies that's so bad it's good kind of thing. The effects suck. I mean, the story's intriguing enough until about halfway through, and then just starts to kind of get boring. You literally don't see the monster until an hour into the movie. And you barely see it. Half the time when you see, yeah, well, in a way, yes, but at the same time, in these kind of movies, you want to see the bad, cheesy monster.
Yeah.
It's almost the first thing you see is the first kill or something, right?
Like, you want more of it. No, but you don't see shit. You see all kinds of killing, but you don't actually see the monster until literally, and it's literally like the same 3 or 4 shots through a lot of the movie. And the other times it's like nothing but like dirty ass water where you can't see shit. So it's
I feel like I've seen this movie now, but it just sounds like a generic sci-fi movie that has a monster. I'm sure I've seen that.
It's basically the basis for a lot of them.
So far, this sounds like a movie I've seen, but I don't know.
Yeah, so it's a genetically created fucking monster that's out there killing people, and you get this stupid espionage kind of fucking plot in the background where, you know, the guy who made it and they're trying to cover it up and blah blah blah. It was not a very good movie. Not a very good movie. So yeah. That being said, there wasn't really much that stood out to me in that movie, but the other one here, this one was a doozy. Did I ever bring The Last Shark on before?
I don't believe you have. I don't believe you have.
This is the DVD that's an MOD disc, so I don't even know how legit it really is.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Movie
then I have this
man.
Region B Blu-ray release of it, which I acquired through Diabolic for a lot more than I probably should have, because it's not much better than the DVD release. It looks like it's basically the raw scan of the DVD release, which is barely above 480p. But the movie itself is a fucking treasure.
I love
The
it.
Last Shark, or it's been known as a couple other names in other places. I think it's even called like Jaws 5 in some places or whatever. I don't remember.
Wouldn't surprise me, especially in Italy or somewhere.
But it is a region locked, region locked. But it is, an Italian film with a bunch of. It actually has Vic Morrow in it, though.
Nice.
And I'm sitting here watching the whole movie going, is Vic Morrow just trying to be Robert Shaw? The answer is yes.
Now I gotta see it.
Because I'm sitting here, why has he got a Scottish accent? It's just like, what the fuck, dude? So like, the movie is basically Jaws. And Jaws 2. It is. It's literally, but it's got like the most ambitious effects of all the sharksploitation films. They have a rubber puppet shark, kids. And this thing is fucking hilarious. It's even more hilarious than the big fake head that looks like they stole from a fucking knockoff Universal Studios. I mean, it is just superb, and how much of the weird crap. Like, this movie has all the things you want out of your sharksploitation movie. Bad dummies, explosions, tons of shark kills, the really bad effects.
Really bad editing.
The editing's not so bad. I mean, it's a coherent enough story. I mean, it's literally just like lifted from Jaws and Jaws 2.
Well, I guess I'm referring to like on some of the kill shots, like, you know, oh, here's my hand, and then there's the plastic hand, like right there or something.
Somewhat, but no, actually, they're pretty good at mixing in. They actually got some real, well, it's stock footage, but real shark footage here and there, and they managed to. I mean, it's pretty ambitious to the point where it's like, you know what? if the effects were just a little bit better, this movie wouldn't be that bad. I mean, and it's different from Jaws enough because the guy's like literally like we sat down and we rewrote it and it was like, oh, this is too much like Jaws and Jaws 2. So we changed a few things and then it wasn't anymore, but we still went to court over it. Right. Like, so, and this one is the one that doesn't use the footage from, so like the other one is the one I think I brought up before that actually uses the footage. Although I think it's the same director. So, so again, but this one has like a regatta, like a race going on, like to kind of go along with like the shit from part 2 with the boats.
Right.
So you have that mixed with like the beach thing, and you've got characters that are basically Brody and fucking Robert Shaw's character. And Vic Morrow is just like, what the fuck is he doing in this movie acting like this? I don't know.
He's got to be Quint, man. He's got to be Quint.
He is. He's basically mimicking Quint, and you're just like, but he's not so much mimicking Quint. He's mimicking Robert Shaw because Quint doesn't have a fucking Scottish accent.
True.
He's supposed to be an Islander. He once in a while, because he's fucking drunk as shit, it will bleed through. You can tell that throughout. Like I love watching the movie, and you can start to hear, he's supposed to be talking in like a, Don in the guy, that kind of accent. And then all of a sudden he'll slip into a little bit of a fucking Scottish accent. Like that motherfucker's drunk.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he was through most of the movie. But anyhow, that being said, like you got to see the trailer for this one. Let's see if it has any of the good stuff in it. Because
it sounds like a fun one. It does sound like a fun one. According to Tim Hayes, though, it looks like it'd be another one Spielberg and Universal won't allow released in the U.S. So
it doesn't surprise me because they talk about the court case thing, but it's all in like Italian with subtitles, so it's like, so I don't remember everything as well. But best ones on the boat.
But in the world of blackness, beneath these waves, there are no days, no nights, no seasons, only endless existence. And a being whose only thought since the beginning terror begins, March 5th.
I love
March 5th. I love that they got Percy in there too, doing the fucking.
Yeah, the guy had a freaking rebel flag.
I wonder if there's one that actually shows like all the funny shit.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that. That's funny. Just like that's probably like the Italians' idea of like, what's the American flag look like? Isn't it the rebel flag? We'll just use that. So that's what they're on the beach holding the guys. Oh, that cracked me up. Yeah, it looked like just like straight up.
Well, the shark literally like blows some dude into pieces. Like I'm trying to find that shit.
Shark blows what?
Like he literally blows him up. Like he just like fucking jumps up underneath him and the whole fucking boat explodes. It's like fucking crazy. But like here's another thing.
Sono andato a caccia di squali per tutta la vita.
It's the Italian version.
Mentre tu hai scritto solo libri su questo argomento.
You get to see some of the shark shit here.
E ci vuole un esperto per questo bastardo.
No, per Dio. È il mio squalo.
Music too.
Yeah, roars and shit. Anyway, that was something. I loved it. I loved it.
Great.
Fucking loved it. I was hoping he eats a helicopter too. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. Like it's like Jaws. Fuck Jaws. This some bitch is gonna fuck some shit up. Whatever his name is.
Cosa qui pensare? Comincia a scendere. Ecco, gli stiamo sopra.
Fuck you, helicopter. Oh shit. Oh shit. Fuck. No, don't get so close to water. Ah! They're like showing most of the shark shit. There's actually quite a bit in here. Actually, I was kind of impressed. Like I said, this is definitely one of the better of the sharksploitation movies for sure.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Shark still looks fake.
Monster shark, boo. Last shark, yes.
Your what do you call it? Shark exploitation films for the night.
That's right. I got a couple more, but we'll see if I get to them this next week or not. We'll see what the next week holds.
Cool Jaws is still the best.
Cruel Jaws is pretty good. I think that's the one we were talking about, where I think that's the one that actually uses footage from Jaws.
From Jaws, and
yeah, and I have it. And that's one that was released. I think if that's the one I'm thinking of, that's the one that was released in the U.S., but then it got pulled for that very reason, because of the whole lawsuit thing.
I know. When we played a clip of that, I got struck by Universal. Well, not struck, claim.
Yeah. It was Universal and not the other one, yeah.
Yeah, I had to cut that section out because it was Universal Films.
Jerks.
I had to cut it out of the stream when you showed that clip.
Jerks.
Yeah. All right. Well,
that's what I got. That was it. That was fun picks for the night.
That was all your picks?
That's it. I'm done. I got work to do, so let's wrap this up.
This isn't short exploitation. This is sexploitation and Canucksploitation.
And Canuck.
Canucksploitation. Yes. This would be Screwballs from Seven.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that had a release.
Yeah. Good luck trying to find it. You won't find it.
Fuck! I had that on video, man.
Yeah, you won't find the Blu-ray. It's impossible. They're OOP and a sequel. I got the sequel.
Rick.
I was going to watch the sequel, but I didn't have time, so I was watching this. Written by Jim Wynorski and Lynn Shane, and it was called Canucksploitation because Canada had a thing, I guess, where that's where they filmed this up in Canada. It doubled as America, but it was like, they were sexploitation movies up there. This is one of the raunchiest 80s sex, but I do have a bone to pick. It says here on the Hall of Fame nudity. I don't think so. I've seen more.
Nah, it's pretty tame. It's pretty fucking tame.
This is one of the more tame ones, but I would say
I was never understood why my dad had it up with some of the more racier films like Private School and shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly. I've seen more boobs in other movies than this, so
it's not even close to like Porky's level.
No, it's not even. I think Porky's might have more tits in it than this. This, I mean, it has, and one of like the big thing is like also too like. I really feel like American Pie is very similar to this movie more than Porky's after rewatching this, because like the whole plot of this movie is like a group of these friends, which many sexploitations, all the characters are sort of the same, like the nerd, the jock, and all them come together, like Porky's, all that, and but the whole plot of the movie is they make a pact to see the best looking girl in the school's tits before the end of the year. Kind of like the Virgin Pact, to lose their virginity. And I love the names too, because her name is Purity Bush. Her name is Purity Bush. And they want to see, because she's Purity, she's the hottest, purest girl, the virgin. And they all make a pact to try to sleep with her and see her boobs before the end of the movie. Right. So when it does get to the point, doesn't matter spoilers here, because there's really nothing to spoil in this movie. It's a sex comedy. It's the whole point of these guys keep looking at chicks' tits and stuff, trying all that. So like, that's the story. So like the whole point of the thing is like they want to see her naked. They want to either sleep with her or see her naked. So they devise this plan to where they put magnets in her dress. So when because they're doing the homecoming thing and she's going to sing the national anthem in the gym. So like they put magnets on their dress. So when when she gets up there, they turn like electric power magnets and it rips the dress off her, right?
Based on the shocking true story
of Carrie. So they do that. They get to it, and boom, they rip her dress off of it. And when they rip it, it's like, yeah, you finally get to see this, because this chick is smoking hot too. She's super hot, and you're like, oh, finally you get to see her titties. And they start rolling the credits over top of them. Like they start playing the song, and the credits like, dude, just can I get a clear shot of them? It's like, that's the whole point of the movie. You're bullying out to, that's the whole point of what the movie boils down to. And you start rolling the credits on her tits.
Fucking Canadians.
I'm like, come on, Roger Corman produced this, Jim Wynorski wrote it, and that's what you do? But no, it's good. It doesn't have like, it's not the Hall of Fame nudity. Like there's not as many. But the one chick, this chick here, if you can see like right here, she's the co-writer of the movie with Jim Wynorski. She shows her tits like every 10 seconds in the movie. So like if you're looking for a boob, she has no problems. She's like always taking her shirt off in the movie. So you at least get to see hers. But no, it's a fun movie. It reminded me a lot of more American Pie than Porky's does. And not to mention only that, and so if you can see here as well, Look it up here. If you can see the with my camera, I can't see it. Look, it's a hot dog joint where they go and eat hot dogs. What's that remind you of? So I think, you know,
well, this is kind of a rip-off of Porky's, so
yes,
like
it is,
I mean,
I watched the special features. That's
you kind of have this whole like roundabout circle of things.
Yeah,
like,
yes. Because that's what I was watching it. It's like they have an interview with Jim Wynorski and that woman there. They wrote it together, and they're like, Roger Corman came to us and said, you know, this movie Porky's is starting to get really good traction because it hadn't come out yet, but he was hearing really good things about it, and he said, you write me this movie. Write me a movie like Porky's. So that's what they went to do. They went and wrote a movie similar to Porky's. They watched a bunch of teen sex comedies and everything. And it's also sort of like a satire of these movies as well too. Because that's why the girl's name is Purity Bush.
which is why they probably don't show the tits at the end. To be honest with you, that's
Probably,
the joke.
yeah. It's yes, true.
If I remember correctly, because it's kind of coming back to me in flashes.
Yeah.
Like, because I have not seen this movie in years. So,
right.
because it was one of those movies, like I said, my dad would keep it up like it was one of the porn movies, like, even though it was all softcore shit.
Yeah, this is like barely nothing, really. I've seen
Private
worse.
School and Skinamax type shit.
Yeah.
That
I think
you know,
the Sopranos show's worse than this.
Oh, fuck yes. But, like, yeah, that's kind of the whole thing, is you're not wrong. It is more of a satire or a play on, like, Porky's and the other films. Because you guys got to remember, in the wake of Porky's, there was also... Private Resort. There was a Private School, like I mentioned. I think that may have come up just before. But what's funny is I think the chick in that is, I'm trying to remember her name. I think it's the chick from Taboo, the porn films. But like that was also kind of the oddball connection, unless I'm misremembering the actress.
I think you're thinking of somebody else because
I might be. But like, yeah. Anyhow, that being said, like yeah, you had this whole like slew of these like come out. I mean, even Tom Cruise is in one. I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah, which one was he in?
Because Johnny Depp was in.
He was in that beach movie.
The one I mentioned already. Yeah, the one I mentioned already was the one that Johnny Depp was in, Private Resort.
Yeah, Private Resort. Because that's with Rob Morrow.
And then the one Tom Cruise was in was I'm trying to remember now. But there was like literally like dozen of them or more.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty much the same plot. Let's get laid or see a chick naked.
Yeah.
And they all seem to take place in like the 1950s or 60s, if not. A few of them are modern day, but not many.
Yeah, because this looks like it's supposed to be in the 50s, but it's also the 80s. So, which, that was a big thing for the 80s. Everybody was fond for the
Honestly, there's so, like, that's the thing that I think some kids don't understand nowadays is, like, I've tried to explain is, like, we can watch shows like Wonder Years and other stuff like that and be like, or even old shows for that matter, and they still felt fresh enough when we were kids. You couldn't really place them that much because things didn't change all that much between the 1950s and the 1990s.
No, it didn't.
Well, pretty much like the 1980s, I should say. Basically, the moment we got VCRs and computers in the household, that is when shit kind of started changing. Otherwise, we all had kind of the same upbringing. Stand By Me is another great example. I remember talking about this when we brought in Stand By Me. Like, a lot of us can relate to that because we all grew up that way.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't nothing better to do in the summertime than hang out with your fucking friends and go camping and shoot the shit and find a dead body.
Looking for shit. Yeah, that's what you did. I mean, you didn't have your phones and internet, stay in your house.
No, and you as long as you were home, but by the time the fucking street lights came on, then you were good, like
you'd
that was kind of it. In fact, your parents didn't really want you around all that much.
You'd either go to your friend's house or go to the arcade or go to the movie theater. Oh, that was good times, man. But no, yes, this was like also because they talk about it in an interview. This was also a satire. That's why they named like the chick is named Purity Bush. One of the guys' names is Melvin Jerkovsky. The school is called.
It's Canadian.
Yes, this school.
These aren't James Bond like characters.
No, this is their names. Like this school. The school is called TNA. So TNA is a school. Their principal's name is Principal Stuckoff. The blonde there that I talked about, who also wrote the movie.
Losing It. Sorry, that's the one with Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
Losing It.
Yeah, her name is Bootsy Goodhead. So
God, I have not seen this probably since 1990 something, and I'm just all the shit you're saying. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this movie a couple times.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I might have even seen it more than some of the Porky sequels, to be honest with you.
Now there is a sequel to this, which I also have called.
I don't think I've ever seen.
I've never seen it as well too. I was going to have it watched before the show, but I just didn't have time, so it'll be on next week. I'll watch the sequel. But no, that's the thing. Is like that was the thing. Roger Corman told Jim Wynorski and his woman, "Write me a movie like Porky's, and we'll make it." So they did all that. They wrote the movie, and then he came back to him and said, "We're not putting this out because E.T. is a huge hit right now, so nobody's watching sex comedies." And they're like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "So here's what I'll do. I'll give you so much amount of money, you get the other half, and you can make the movie." So they got the other half from Canada up, and that's why they filmed up there, and that's why they made the movie. And that's how they made it. So, and that's how it came about. But no, it's really funny. It's more like skits throughout the movie than a whole, like, you know what I mean? It's like, because each character, each guy has their moments where they try to get with the girl. So it's like a skit for each character as the story goes along. But it's a funny movie. I wouldn't say it's Hall of Fame nudity like it claims on there, but you will see a good set of jugs. So be in mind that. And I'm interested to see the sequel because I didn't even know it had a sequel till I got it. So I'm excited. But I do believe I think these movies are really hard to find now. I'm not really sure, but as far as I know, I think they're out of print. This I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're out of print. So good luck trying to find them.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's see if I can see real quick.
I thought it just came out though.
I'm looking.
Or am I thinking of a different one?
Yeah, Screwballs is going for $114.99 on Amazon.
Well, it's like I just talked to Rick earlier. I was like, because after watching King of New York, I remembered Hoodlum with
Hoodlum
Lawrence Fishburne, but that's a period piece, right? And I think it's I don't know how much it's based on a true story, but it's loosely based, I think, on the true story. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I want to check that out. It's been years, and I actually don't have it. I'm like, I wonder why I didn't have it. And I looked it up because it was like a fucking Olive release, and it's like $70 goddamn dollars now. But it is on Tubi. So, but it looks like shit.
Yeah, most of them scans on Tubi, and they're not always.
Well, and that and add in Tubi's fucking they're not pumping out the best fucking quality.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens to Peter Venkman fan site is like if you don't get these movies sometimes, for whatever reason, like the rights issues and stuff, if they go out of print, they're hard as shit to get. So that is a problem.
That's nothing compared to the ones when they get released and then they get pulled, like the one we were just talking about before.
Yeah, like the cool Jaws.
Yeah, where I don't even want to see what the price on those because then I'll be too tempted to sell mine.
You need some money.
Like, that's going for how much? Fuck this shit. I'll sell that shit.
Yeah. No, I had fun time watching. I had not seen that one in years and years and years. Good old Roger Corman. I don't know if it has to do with like if Severin doesn't own rights or if it's part of the Shout Factory deal or whatever, because Shout Factory got all the Corman titles, certain Corman titles. So I don't know who has the full on rights to those movies. Plus, it was a Canadian, produced film. Because that's where they got the money to make it. Because there's Corman, good old Roger Corman. He did that shit all the time. But then, yeah, it's a fun movie. You don't see a lot of those movies, like we talked about before. I believe American Pie was like the last. I mean, of course, you had like Road Trip and Van Wilder and stuff. I think Van Wilder was like the last of them, but like American Pie was like the beginning of the end of those type of movies. And I don't think you could make them today. We'd see though. But anyways, that was what I had for you guys. That was it. Next week I will have the sequel. So we'll watch that. And I'll tell you what, if it's any better, because they're in college, Beaver something college. So then we'll get to that. But yeah, there we guys have it. Rook, if you're on next week, I'll be anxious to hear your thoughts on Clerks if you actually see Clerks.
Nice show.
So and maybe we'll get Clark the Shark on because he said he saw some movies and he wanted to talk about them. So maybe we'll have Clark the Shark on too, getting back on the show. But as always, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Rook, for being here. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys. And everybody watching at home, I appreciate you. As always, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
How you doing? Bitches leave.